Greetings, Commanders! Welcome to Kerrash Landing, the Elite Dangerous Community Show. Commander Crash here. It's Friday night. It's 8 o'clock. Yes, it's Kerrash Landing time. How are you all doing? Lovely to see you there in the chat. Who have we got now? I know we've got lots of familiar faces in the chat tonight. Stephen Asher, Saturnine, Gamer with the Inn, Fiery Toad is there, Dirk D, nice to see you there, Commander Moon Prayer, Commander Wilkie, HRN, Made by Rihanna, Mr. Junks, Paul Archer, and Super Britain. Nice to see you all there. Lovely. Lovely start. And now, as you will notice, no headphones tonight, and curious props to the side here. Let's move those out of the way for a second. Yes, I have made a plan to have some guests here tonight. Darks Max, hello, Darks Max. How you doing? Unfortunately, my guests aren't here yet. So, real physical guests here in the Kerrash Landing room. Yes, but unfortunately they're a little bit late. These things happen. Never mind. But hey ho, it's 8 o'clock. It's time to chill. How is everyone doing this week? I know there's been a lot of consternation of various things on the forum, back and forth. As usual, it would not be a week in Elite Dangerous crying about the colour of a particular pixel. Such is life. Such as there's life in politics as well, I imagine, which a lot of people have been seeing this week. But talking about politics, I have no interest whatsoever in what the Federation of the Empire are doing. No, it's entirely up to them. Greetings, Commander. Nice to see you there, buddy. So yes, I am heading back on my little exploration joint. I found a couple of nice new things, some nice firsts out there, which, fingers crossed, if I get back in time and manage to claim them as first, then I will, I'll share them. But not until then, not until I've proven I've got my stamp on them. Then I will let everyone know where they are. But yeah, I found some really cool things, actually, some binary black hole systems, some binary with an additional one. It's not ternary, is it? Nobody ternary with a ternary black hole system. Didn't even know you could get something like that. But yeah, some really cool systems I found out there. So juicy, all juicy. The exploration time. Yes, I'll get back. There are a few interesting updates coming on. We're not going to see them until the end of July-ish. It's going to be after LaveCon now. Oh dear, am I hosting? Oh no. Hands up if you can see me this time. Can you see? Abacus is there. Greetings. Can you see me now? Can you see me? There was a little bit of a blip then. I think I was still hosting Grad. And it didn't go through. Am I really quiet tonight? Hey, greetings, Commanders! I won't do all that all over again because you're going to see how much of an idiot I was on YouTube just talking to myself. But never mind. So yes, as you will notice, let me turn myself up a little bit. I've moved the microphone all the way over here. Clean shaven. Yes, I have arranged this evening to have a couple of guests physically here, but they're not physically here yet. So, oops. Someone forget to I said, shush, Toad. Yes, shush. It wasn't me. I pressed enter. It didn't. The chat went funny and it did that. You're disconnected and I can't talk to anyone in the chat. It's not fair. I'm here now. It's okay. Technical difficulties. 151 streams later and still technical difficulties. It wouldn't be Kerrash Landing without technical difficulties. Links to the newsletter. Yeah, let's get the links to the newsletter for everyone in here. We will go over the newsletter very briefly. Oops. There are some pretty cool things in that I want to highlight this week as well, actually, and we will get straight on to that as soon as possible. But yes, unfortunately, as I said, not sure where my guests are at the moment. Mrs. K is driven off into the sunset to go find my guests, and I think they stopped on the way for some Centauri Megagin, I think, and haven't seen them since. Hopefully we'll see them soon. Gilsoy, greetings! I've been offline for... Yes, I am feeling a little bit better, Gilsoy. Yeah, I've just the odd strange headache, which is very annoying, but... Greetings, Commander. Happy Friday. Got any yttrium? Sick boy saying that. Do you know what? Actually, in my my little book of stuff, I do have a couple of planet names where I've managed to find yttrium on. They're not exactly in the best place ever. I think they're off in the Witchhead Nebula somewhere. But I've got a couple of planets I know I have found yttrium. I haven't been back there since 2.1, so things may have changed. But yeah. Marcus Cross. Greetings, Commander. Nice to see you there. So I think we will jump onto a few things in the newsletter, actually, whilst we're waiting for Mrs. K. Newsletter 130. Make sure I see this. Yeah, the microphone might be a little bit quiet. I have moved it in a position so that we could pick up several people, actually. I might just put it back for a second. There we go. So hopefully that's a little better. And then, if and when the guests do arrive, I'm really looking forward to my guests this week. How'd you know? I'm making a big deal. I was like, yay! I could have real guests, and then not here. Lonely, so lonely. Tistar, greetings, Commander. Twithy! Sorry, I didn't see you come in there, my friend. Nice to see you in the chat. Was that Max versus saying? Who's meant to be guessing? My net is a bit wibbly with the feed. Not someone from Frontier. No, I can keep you guessing for a little bit longer. Saturday night, yes, I shaved. Yes. See, I managed to find a razor in the back of my asp and sorted it out. No, it's not someone from FD. I can confirm that. They have come all the way from that side of the country. Spireblack said that you really like the last screenshot in the current newsletter. Let's get that up on there, actually, now that I've jumped. See, I can't help it. Oh, no. They got atmospheres, not Earth-likes. That's what we want. It's all about the ELWs. All about the Earth-likes. Let's browse out. Let's go through them in reverse order, as you've pointed out, Spireblack, something like that. Oh, yes. Nice. From... Hateful Snake on Reddit. Tribute to Horizons. Yeah, I love the just when things come together like that in the game and you get these fantastic screenshots. You cannot make this stuff up. I was on a planet the other day. I wish I took some screenshots of it, but I was just in this position where it was a gas giant. It was two binary moons orbiting each other, and then the one moon started to rise on the surface, and then the gas giant was rising behind it. It was almost like it was in parallel. And I didn't even realise it was there. I left the SRV on that position, come back to it a couple of hours later, and all the planet had moved around. I was like, whoa, that's really cool. It's like, I must try and take some pictures of that. And then a little bit later, it moved again. So, damn it. Completely missed it. Yes. Oh, there we go. Oh, Abacus has got a newsletter. Yes, we all pasted the newsletter. There we go. You meant the last one. The last one. Which one was the last one? The last one? Was it this one? The Space Madness one? I must admit, I was doing a couple of donuts in my my SRV as well. Imperial ships are referred to as Tron ships. Yeah, well, they are kind of sleek and badass looking, aren't they? Reeling? Oh, there we go. Yeah, everyone's got the newsletter. So yeah, going down, obviously, I think everyone's aware of the things which are going on around Merope 2A at the moment. If you're not, get over to Merope and have a look. There's the Federal Capital ship which is wandering around the place there, and of course, what better to do than to jump on top? So that's exactly what Commander Dr. Stone and Avaru did. Jump on top. Of course, entirely for science. Not just because it looks cool and it's fun to do. But I want to get and do that. Enough there. By the time I get back, something would have... Things might have changed. I'm just going to say that much. That's all I'm going to say. Nothing. there may be something in this week's newsletter that hints at that. But, Commander Flint, I think, I mean, I played around a little bit before. We did a couple of fun things out on Kate's stream. If you get enough ships, you can kind of bunny hop over the ships and use them as a bridge. You can do things like that, so it might be possible. I'd be interested to give it a go, see what it is. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Oh no, it's not coffee. It's not coffee. It is a shiny mag, but it's not coffee. It's just tea. Saturnine, yes, you coffee, yes, you go fetch coffee now, fetch coffee now. And there's one thing on the newsletter. I think I might jump ahead to the points in the newsletter actually, because there's a couple of really cool things on the newsletter that I really must point out, because I know there's been a lot of I'll say backlash, but you know how people get. There was a lot of people who were getting really concerned about some of the changes that come in 2.1, and yes, I admit outright, it's a lot of kind of luck involved, where it's kind of unfortunate. It's a bit disappointing, because I wish there was more skill involved in some of the elements that's in there. But on the good news, Frontier are listening, and in the next patch they are going to be putting a whole bunch of changes in to try and address some of that stuff, which is thank goodness for that. I always look at things when there's any kind of like randomness in the game. I always see that element as being kind of a placeholder for a deeper system that you just haven't got the resource to implement. And I say that from experience, because I've done that myself. It's like when you want some kind of effect of gravel or something like that. It's like you just throw randomness at it rather than actually going out and physically simulating it, because it's insanely difficult to physically simulate everything down to an accurate level. So you just throw randomness at it and hope that it looks somewhere near to it. And that's kind of the thing in it that I see that a lot of people do in games. It's not just from a physical standpoint, but also from gameplay elements as well. You know, in tabletop games you see that kind of luck rolls and things like that, because it's trying to simulate a very, very complicated system. And I think that's the crux of it. That's the underlying thing that we're looking at here. When you look at something like everyone says RNG. What's that? Kerrash Worker saying, your suggestion for linking NPC AI rank ships to system security needs to be implemented. Yeah, Millstone Marty goes, yes, it is kind of. It is already like that, but I think the problem is, again, is the whole system is rather opaque. Nobody knows how it works. I don't know how it works. Frontier have not really sat and explained it to any of us. So it's, yeah, it's all a little bit vague and wishy-washy. Nobody really knows how any of that works. But there is an element of that which has been introduced into, I think it came in as part of 2.0 actually, but it was very difficult to see that it was in effect. I think it's been amped up quite a bit for 2.1 as well. I was trying to get some answers on that the other day after I posted it, peeking around in the code. I may have seen one or two things in the files. Commander Flint wants a shark condo with a massive fin. Oh yes, I saw the someone did the mock-ups on Twitter, didn't they, of the Python and a couple of other different ships with the ship kits on there. I think, of course, all those kind of things are going to come, aren't they? Of course, we know there's going to be things like more fins on your Fer-de-Lance, yes. Fer-de-Lance with extra spoilers and stuff. Why not? But yeah, I mean, going back onto the thing, RNG has been the biggest topic of consternation, and a lot of people have been annoyed with it, and yes, it does bother me as well, because like I said, it does take away that element of skill, brings in a lot of luck into a game, and I think that can get very, very frustrating. You can sometimes be lucky and find the thing you want on the first attempt, and then other times you're just completely destroy something for hours and hours and hours and hours and never actually obtain the thing you're trying to get, which can be so frustrating, absolutely so. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to get up and go away and explore until the system has been resolved. And fortunately, like I said, it is being looked at, and in the next point release, next major point release, we should see some changes to some of these systems to make it less infuriating, which is nice. What's that? Yeah, sick boy saying, Brave and Bobblehead looks amazingly sinister when you feel scoop, and I was like, yeah, it's just got the faint glow from the system map there, just under the lid. Angular bodywork to make it look like an F-117. Nice. Yeah, that'd be nice actually. What's that? Goes like, okay, is that the only for the size ship, or we can get that for the Cobra? Sorry, what's that for the... Would that stop the whining in the zoos? And I say, of course not. As soon as one thing is fixed, the next 7 things will get complained about. That's how it works. That's what happens. That's what people do. Jake is not happy. News. There may be news on the guest front. I think we might take a very brief intermission, so bear with us, folks. BRB.
Yeah, I made it.
Greetings, everyone! We're live!
We're live
Yes! Lord Alvin! Lord Alvin is with us! And of course...
Alvin!
Oh, careful.
Poor Alvin.
You okay? Come on.
Yeah, come on in.
And
Get a
of course,
chair.
we have...
I'm gonna make one joke.
Let's start there.
What? Oh,
Snos!
thanks for that.
And Steph!
Welcome.
Oh, lovely to see you both!
Oh, it
Long
is
trip in Super Cruise.
It is a very
It's-
long way.
Bit further than Hutton.
It is a bit further than nothing.
Yeah.
But it's well worth
it. So, can't see Snos. Can't see Snos.
Yeah, that's alright. I shall bunch up a bit.
There we go. Alvin! Alvin! Hello, everyone. There we go. Everyone can see her there. The stream delay. I love the stream delay.
Always nice. Always nice. Come on, Alvin.
Come here. There you go.
Oh.
Yes, lovely.
Yeah, if we put our hands down, we're not doing anything untoward. There's a dog, okay? Just as soon as you're clear, there's a dog.
Up you come. Up you come.
A wet dog, I should point out.
Up you come. Oh shit.
Ah, so you had a safe journey then?
Yes, a safe journey, and we've seen a little bit of the Forest of Dean, and it's fantastic. And that's, yes, you're still very damp. We went to a place with ponds, and Alvin here discovered that the ponds are in fact wet and full of mud.
Yes, but it was fun. You enjoyed it.
It was brilliant.
You got muddy, rinsed it off, got muddy again.
Right, Alvin?
Somebody, you've been travelling all day. You've probably not seen the newsletter, have you?
No, not seen the newsletter. Is there news in the newsletter?
There is news.
News.
There is actually some news. We were just talking about. I know everyone was saying about the randomness of 2.1 is a little bit.
Yes, yes.
Some people don't like it, so we'll jump onto that. Actually, there are some good points in there.
Oh, God, newsletter, I haven't seen it yet.
Yes.
Newsletter, there is a newsletter. So we jump straight into the meat of it, I think, actually, because there's some interesting things that Zach's brought up. So there's going to be a major point release coming up at the end of July. MIDI.
Oh, 2.2, isn't it?
2.2 or 2.1?
Not 2.2, but 2.1
Point a lot.
something like that. So some of the points they brought in there are going to be these things adjusting how you can find things. The one thing I particularly like here, which is the surface scanner will let you see what materials are on there.
Ah, someone was asking about that the other week. Yeah.
Such a fantastic, because that suddenly that makes exploration really, really fun.
That's
I
what
think.
you need. You need to know sort of what sort of concentration. So osmium. So that comes to mind because someone was asking about that the other day.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
So you're going to think, I'm going to go a couple of extra 100 light seconds because has that one got yttrium on it? Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to go.
It didn't work yet, but it didn't just a load of mud.
Is it? Yeah, exactly. So I think that's a fantastic thing on there, and obviously some changes to the way that the blueprints work
Hello,
as
Stephen
well.
Usher.
Stephen Usher.
Hello, Stephen Usher.
We're all here having a party. But yes, some really, really interesting bits which are going to be. I think it's just the little things we've all been asking for. I think to make it a bit more logical and less random, because I think at the moment it's just.
There's a lot of people complaining about engineers.
People complain about everything.
The trouble is, it's like everything. It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
And people forget that. I mean, I think in Alpha it was different. We all enjoyed it for its own sake. Yeah. And then when it started getting more meaningful and other things came into play, it was like, it's broken, it's not working, it's a beta!
it's evolving, it's changing, yeah. I think that's something I was always quite adamant about when I first started off, was that is this idea that it's always going to be in flux, it's always going to be changing.
Well, I think we spoke about this, about it like building a house. You start on the foundations and then you build up brick by brick, put the windows in eventually.
Yeah.
Then you start doing the decor.
Yeah.
You do, but perhaps the complaint here is that some of the bricks aren't necessarily the ones that should have been used.
They want slightly different. So
Or they quite like
wall out
brief.
and
Exactly. And that's fine too, because as part of the development you will learn, you'll modify as it goes along.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a lot of that feedback from Power Play initially as well, wasn't it? And a lot of people didn't really like Power Play, but I think when you actually look at what a lot of the community is doing now, like a lot more groups are working together to take over systems and work together as a group and stuff like that. That's kind of what Power Play was trying to get people
That's
to do.
really annoying,
people
by
are
the way,
doing
that
that
you're
out-
flying without
they're doing it
really
outside of Power Play, yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Right now, I would be a cloud of ionised atoms.
it's just practice. It's just practice. But no, it's those.
Grant, hello.
Hey,
Grant,
Psycho,
welcome.
greetings.
My dear fellow, welcome.
Mark.
We have mugs that aren't broken.
I've seen the jigsaw puzzles actually.
Yeah.
They look really nice. LaveCon jigsaw puzzles.
If Grant's shown up, does that mean his show's actually finished vaguely on time?
Yeah, only 24 minutes late. That's pretty good going for it. That's
It
good.
is.
Sorry for that. I must have said, Grant, he got an extra bit of airtime tonight. For the first 4 minutes, I was waffling away to myself, and yes, I hit unhosted.
You did a Grant basically.
Yeah, which it happens.
Catching.
It happens on that. DJ Turgeon, nice to see you there. Have we got any Earthlikes? It's all about.
Where are you at the moment?
I'm
Some
Emerald
random
back
place.
in the
Not
middle
clear
of
what that is.
nowhere. I'm about 10,000 out. So
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, you're
not
still
too
on
far.
your trip.
I'm on my way back.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've been out. I found some really nice.
Oh, I think I saw
You found a
something.
ternary black hole.
And a ternary black hole, yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, bookmark. I was like, yes, I want that.
I tell you what, you don't want to do a Helen landing in one of those systems. Because
No,
Yeah, you
no.
could reverse
it's
into a black
shredded
hole.
3 different ways.
We got some questions. Huggy Monster saying the Paraplay. You like Paraplay, it just needs a bit more content to evolve in the mission board. I think that's simple. Is he okay with the steps?
Yeah.
Alvin!
That's a
Alvin,
fair.
Alvin.
That's a fair assessment, I think.
Come here.
Should we?
It'll be fine. Go.
I get really worried about it. I think that's it's like with any element. I think you want that kind of integration, don't you? And at the moment, there's a lot of these systems which are coming together. There's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but you just want that tighter coupling.
They
and I
do
think,
feel like they're separate elements. Exactly.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and as much as CQC again is another element to it, which is it's great in its own right, but at the moment it just feels like it's out over here. And I'd love to see more integration. Like, yeah, you've got the system that you
mean
gained.
sort of like connection. between-
Yeah.
My dear Simon, welcome.
Hey, Simon! Nice
My
to see you
dear
there.
fellow, welcome.
Let's make that a little bigger so you can
Yeah,
see.
Simon, who apparently I can announce today. I think he announced it earlier. He's actually getting
Oh,
married.
that's better.
He's getting married to Darren Gray.
Yes,
Yes, he's getting married to
congratulations
Darren
to
Gray,
you
and
both.
we
Yeah.
are-
Lovely. Politics ban, please, says Bindle Stiff. Nice to
Alvin.
see you, buddy. Nice to yes, the only politics we're interested in is what's going on between the Federation and the Empire right now,
Imperial,
because things are getting a little bit heated up on it. I don't know if you've seen that in the newsletter
I've
as well.
seen a little bit
Let's,
about capital ships turning up out near
let's-
Maya.
Yeah, so let's scooch down to that. We'll jump all over today.
I noticed yesterday there's only 2 community goals, which is a bit of a shame.
Well, they've been busy with other things.
I know that. but what I like is though that they're competing against each other for
Yeah.
community goals,
That's
and
very
it's
good.
interesting. I think it's the Federation one that's
Federation
that's
seems to be doing better.
really
Yes.
that forward. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't remember. I think, and the other one sort of Tilly and
I can
Biolo
only assume that means there are some
one.
very bad Imperial pilots.
I quite like that.
See if
So-
I can find the. There it is, Daramo system.
That's it. Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the one. Yeah. So you got the two goals, and this is all going down at the moment. So let's see where this is on the map.
And I've just seen the winner of the Rise to Power event.
Yes, the EG pilots have got to is it the wild cards? They've made the wild card slot, so there's now joined in with the other groups in there to make the play to be a player group.
Alvin? Alvin isn't an
Is he
EG
okay?
pilot supporter. My
He's-
apologies to
no.
those of you who are.
Oh, bless him.
Start out just for everyone that's watching. I've been looking at the abyss.
He's
Ah.
staring as yeah. We can take him down if you want. If he's
Alvin
not.
may need airlifting down
He
to
might do. Yeah.
base camp.
If we're not careful, we'll be doing a bungee jump.
Stairs. What other things? Things are going on. Things are going on. If we jump into the newsletter. So yeah. So the
Did we
Daramo
get the
system.
same non-disclosure agreement this time? Yeah, there's a non-disclosure agreement. That's
I've
what
got
it
one
is.
of those.
Got a copy somewhere.
Yeah.
We can fill one out on that. But yeah, there's stuff. Stuff is happening. Things are going down.
I like the way stuff's happening.
We're not stuff, things and
And
stuff.
of course, every time you say that, Mr. Braven's going.
Just twinges a little bit. So so the Daramo system is being fought over. It may have something to do with the recent federal incursion into the Maroc system, because obviously they've set their capital ship over there, kind of guarding the Barnacle site, which I think you've seen that, haven't you?
Yeah.
There's stuff going down there, and of course the Empire aren't too happy about that. I mean, it's not a nice thing to do, is it? Really, to just set up shop there and start flashing your guns and everything. So things
Start with T.
no.
No.
Not yet.
They've opened a tea shop.
No. It's beginning with A. Beginning with A. Beginning with A. They all begin with A.
Greetings, Stephen Carey. Nice to see you.
Do we have to sign an NDA? Actually, I'm not allowed to tell you.
Yeah, we can't even tell you that it's
Yeah,
right.
it's
on
one
the
of
door.
these super injunction things. I'm ever
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
I'll
No, Alvin. Of course, that's what you meant, Alvin, wasn't it?
Yeah.
an Alvin is happening.
Alvin's now bored.
Exactly. So things are going down. I mean, what do you think's happening?
Right, I can't possibly say. But
can't-
you see,
Yeah, I know all of it, but obviously I put down. Yeah.
But we can always.
I can't play that game.
We can always speculate.
We can speculate.
We can speculate.
Obviously, you have to work on what's going on at the moment with the engineers and the crew stuff and actually coming into it too. So you have to kind of think about what's going on with those.
So they're opening up
and
a
see
gift
what
shop
the,
at Morocco.
see what the next logical step is. Like the ships in ships thing. That's already been mentioned anyway.
Yeah.
But they haven't given too many things away. Well, those snuffers do.
Great. Yeah, I'd have a great.
Yeah.
But if Snuffer is listening, and he might be, you never know. I still want it to be an original Elite crate, the one without the hyperdrive.
With the yeah.
Yeah, no hyperdrive.
Yeah.
See, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Because I mean, David always
They
said
didn't make
that,
a good small ship.
Yeah, he said it was too small for it to be a useful ship in the
Exactly.
sense of like
but,
a sidewinder.
But the ship and the ship thing, it's a perfect candidate.
makes perfect sense, and
And
everyone wins.
And they did do the
Gargons, yes, fair
concept
point.
art. They did do the concept art. Remember, of course, that was
Way back, yes, they
Yes.
had with the
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I remember
with the
seeing
sort
them
of barbed things on
on
the
the
side.
yeah, exactly. So it's
So-
I think it's there. I mean, I remember
Yeah.
seeing the ship on the wall, all
Yeah.
the different pieces of concept art. It's like, what's
So I don't think the crate was in that ship chart they did when they released the ship list of
There
ships.
was
Yeah.
a crate
They did
somewhere.
profile, and I don't think it was in that.
There's a crate somewhere.
So
With all these small ships being launched from larger ones, and the AI now being significantly better than it used to be,
still
I'm
people
almost
complaining about it.
tempted to buy a big ship and fly small fighters because I can't kill for toffee. I'm useless. So I'm thinking the moment I get anything like get a big ship, release me fighters and let them deal with
Just
it.
let them- yeah,
Let the
exactly.
AI kill the AI because I'm
Let it-
hopeless.
Do you know
Get
what
on
though?
with
You may not be able to kill for toffee, but now the AI is improved. No one can kill for toffee.
exactly, yeah, it's a level playing field. That's what it's all about. It's just setting it off. But no, there's quite a few interesting things I think coming out. There was a news article today actually. I'm just going to try and get that one for everyone. Let's see if we can-
Yeah, I heard about the AI being come down. In fairness, I did manage to kill a master level third lance last night. In a wacky,
Did you?
Great, yes. in a
We
wacky,
choose
great
to go to the
run.
moon and
And it didn't ram
mysticate and do the
It
other
didn't ram
thing.
me. It did nearly strip my
Not
suit
because
completely.
they are easy, but because they are hard.
Pre 2.1, I would just eat
Because
it.
that goes.
Post 2.1, I'd have run like hell. I've been running like hell from things that are mostly harmless. So I'm going to put my feet back in the water a little bit and see if I can actually, hit a barn door with a banjo.
it certainly took about. I think the problem with 2.1, I think there were so many changes all come at once.
Yeah.
I think that's it. The AI changes, I think, were fantastic.
I like
Yeah, they were bang on. I think.
Yeah.
I think they've been toned back a little bit
Yeah.
to
Understand
cover some of the
to bring it back so
Yeah.
people can get used to the curve.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. People need to have a chance and think they have a chance.
With a
Whereas
courier,
it's-
well done,
Scale.
Mr. Target.
and it is supposed to be a curve, and I think that was partly missing to a degree.
Yeah, impressive.
Video
That's
and
good.
Anyone who
That's
can
good
kill a
going,
Corvette
yeah.
has done well.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty good. I think it was Commander Sillet Bang. I don't know if you've seen that Commander. That was pretty good. I mean, Viper against a courier, that was pretty good going actually. Yeah,
that
was,
had to be.
Yeah, and that was PvP, so that was difficult.
I mean, you
But,
can wear them down if you think about it. And if you sort of run away, get yourself a rest, come back in, and they
Yeah.
haven't quite got cottoned on.
Yeah,
to
the
that.
manoeuvring
Yeah,
thing, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it's just
And
manoeuvring.
I think someone tried it with FA off, and it's far more effective now with FA off. So it does show that you need to practice that. I think.
Yeah.
You do. Oddly enough, that's kind of where I'm going to get used to CQC again.
Do you know that's what I've been thinking?
My
as
kill
well,
ratio
yeah.
in CQC is nearly naught.
It's not good.
It's something like 0.04 or something crazy. I get killed quite a lot. Most of them by Ian Phillips, I'll point out. If you're listening. But yes, during Peter, he made it his life's mission to make my life terrible. I've not forgotten. But I'm almost tempted to use CQC as a testing ground for trying some of the maneuvers.
Yeah.
Get killed 1,000 times if you like, I don't care. And see if I can get the hang of some of the other little maneuvers that you're seeing in videos and you're seeing as advice.
I think that's whenever we see the changes come into the game. I think that's the stuff that that we don't know. But Frontier have got this bigger picture in their head. They're kind of thinking that
No, correction, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. I don't know.
It's that whole roadmap thing that everyone
Exactly.
asked about in the beta that never turned up, and we know of course why. Because that just, and the thing about roadmaps is you never know what's going to change. You're going to have to talk.
the game away.
Well,
Have a detour for
this is the thing. I mean, there was a little piece in an article today saying that they have basically.
Andy, welcome.
Oh, Andy, nice to see you there. The multi-crew stuff is going to be a little bit later than they planned. I think they haven't said when, they haven't said how much of a delay, but they basically said that it's going to take a little bit longer, and they want to get it right.
How do you think? Actually, multi-crew. What do you think that's actually going to be? Because if you're sat in an Eagle,
Yeah, well, only
be honest,
certain ships
one
are
guy-
going to do it.
It's almost like the orchestra, and one person has the triangle. But exactly. Yeah. So what are we thinking for that? Are we thinking anacondas and pythons?
It's got to,
and
yeah,
corvettes
anything big. I think the smallest is probably going to be a Cobra with 2 seats in it.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
pretty much. It's going to be the bigger ship.
That would be embarrassing, because of course the Cobra, certainly in the novels, the controls are both sets, the astrogation console. So I can almost imagine 2 people making this poor Cobra do this as they both want to fly.
No, port, no,
Yeah.
starboard, no. Yeah, exactly.
It could be like being a learner driver again. You know, you're driving and suddenly you're instructed to
You're in a
put
couple
on the
of
brake.
weeks,
yeah, boost.
What the?
Boost, no, handbrake, no.
Yeah, that would be me.
But I also wonder. I suspect rather. And this is just common sense rather than individual speculation. I suspect they'll only do a couple of ships to start off with. Like you said, the Cobra will probably be the obvious example, and maybe Conda.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
engines going on.
Yeah, exactly. And then kind of fill in the gaps.
Exactly. As they learn about how people are using it. Because that's
Yeah.
most of what's been going on anyway. They've added bits in and see how people use it, learn it, and cope with it more often than not.
Yeah.
And then sort of work off that, I think.
And they've always said that about the ships, haven't they? Like, everyone's asking us, oh, we want more ships here, we want more ships there. But they kind of just slot them in where it makes sense,
Yeah.
let people play
I
with
think
them. And
I think the ship revolution, it's going to be evolution from now on. The odd ship here and there.
Yeah.
Because obviously, we all know from what Chris Gregory said last year at LakeCon that pretty much most of the ships that were in the original, they'd like to have like the starboat and
Yes.
that sort of thing. Obviously, the crate won't happen. It's not
Vote
stuff
for
you're
crate.
not watching, but
Sorry, Snap.
Both great.
but they obviously have that goal in mind, and
Yeah.
I think that.
I admit, I kind of sit in a different camp. I would like to see 1 or 2 ships in every release, because partly for me at least, it's about ships and more than most things. Obviously, other people disagree, but I always think of it almost as when you're driving up a motorway, the sheer variety of cars that you pass up a motorway, even in a small country like the United Kingdom, is quite remarkable.
Yeah.
And I'd quite like to pull into starports and
To see
some
the
ships.
odd rare one.
Yeah, some ships.
Yeah.
my
I've seen
goodness,
one of
I-
those in a few light years.
Exactly. I've not seen one of them in weeks. Isn't it? Oh, bless it. That kind of thing. Yeah.
I think that is one of the problems at the moment. The variants of 3 possibly different types. So you got the like all the flashy, curvy Sam
yeah.
Kruger ones, which
Yeah.
everyone seems to go off the corner and do things about. And
This is Kerrash. Is
then you have all the.
doing a bits and bobs.
Hello.
Long distance.
Can you hear us?
I did half think about bringing my laptop and trolling you from
Yeah,
the same room,
yeah.
but
It'd be quite embarrassing if you actually had Mike had his laptop pointed so he could see the stream both ways. You actually,
no, I wouldn't have
you
my
can
laptop.
actually see the lag between what we're saying and what we're
That's
reading on
the
the
worst.
screen.
That is the worst thing. It's like when I see things in there and I don't want to miss bits of the chat in there. I'm like, and I want to
don't
answer.
die.
I'm like,
John, please don't die.
it's close.
Okay,
It's
I
fine.
think it's fine. I know it's fine.
Do the NPC ships use ship kits? I don't actually know. I've not seen any
Interesting
ships
question.
with the new ship kits. See, that would be a nice thing.
I'll
I mean,
let
that
you
would-
know
I
next
that-
time we're
don't
away
think
from
they
one.
do. I don't think they do.
But I think they
but
could easily.
It's
2.2.
another variety thing to get.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
2.2, yeah, ships, personalised ship kits with the Go Faster stripes and the whole lot.
It's
Look at
Mark
it.
in tonight. It's Mark in tonight. Fine.
No, he's travelling. Yeah, I know.
Could we sort of dug him in the ribs on bent taxi?
I'll send him a little message 'cause I think that's a good idea actually. Because it's like
Because
the
that makes sense. doesn't it?
like the pirates with the different skins. You see the different
Yeah.
variations.
Yeah.
Something like that, don't you? So you know.
And that would make sense actually. In original, you have the various factions on the ships, the various decals. I hate that word. Oh,
Always reminds me to be of FX kids as a 6-year-old. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, with the
little sticker.
I hated those.
but yeah, you can have the pirate logo on and that sort of thing.
Yeah. You have the wing of 3 going around as the boy racers. They've all got the same spoilers
Exactly,
on,
yeah.
and the glowing sort of things like that.
You gotta work.
Be cool. No, there's no more questions on that. So so going back to the
Not hearing any sound here.
Yeah, that's unfortunately all we can hear is 3
That's
people
what you should be
rabbiting away.
playing.
turn
the game sound down, we're
let's
told.
turn it a little bit,
Have you done it
turn
again?
down a little bit. Do you know what? I tested the volume, and I tried to get everything right. It's
Fail.
yeah. You can never get it right. It's like no matter.
At least you're not Colin. You're not Mr. Quiet all the time on the microphone. Man with a big booming voice and he's always quiet.
He's practicing for commentating in snooker tournaments.
It's like Bob Harris whispering Colin forward. Yeah.
So jumping back onto the bits and pieces here. So there's some other things in here. So the quantity of things which are spawning as well. So when you're breaking the elements off, you're going to get more than just one. The likelihood of finding rare materials.
Yeah,
is
you do
being
just
put
get one, don't you?
Yeah.
But doesn't that stop them being rare?
Well, I think it's like it's finding them, isn't it? It's like when you find them, and I think that's some of the thing. Like I was saying, going back to the making it more skill driven rather than just completely random. Because at the moment, I land, I go in my SRV, I drive off in a direction for an hour, just waiting to find that metallic meteorite.
Which is where the scanner comes in. Of course,
Exactly. So now you're going to be doing not now, but when this patch comes out, you're going to be trying to find those planets which you know are more likely to be the right kind. Then you're going to be scanning them, looking at the list, and you're like, yeah, okay, that's more likely to have yttrium. Let's get down there. Let's try and find some, things. And I'm hoping more of that comes in because
I'd like some, and I suspect Michael Brooks would probably agree with me. I'd like to see it to be more sort of geological based as well.
Yes.
So you have certain materials in plausible locations, for example.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I mean, that was another point which is a little bit of a disappointment, was when I started seeing the surface map, and they've got the data there. That's what I think I find frustrating, is looking at the fact you can see the like little coloured splotches and areas like that, and I thought there was some pattern thinking that, there must be more there because there's a crater.
I deliberately drove towards something, so
that
looks
the
like it's got something.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's frustrating, I think, is that the data's there. They could use it, but at the moment, it's more of a kind of a speckled map.
It's a foundation thing, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
You start off with the point of interest.
Exactly.
And then you deal with the sort of physics of what happens at that point of interest that leaves bits around it, where that sort of thing.
And it kind of goes, it plays into that gameplay thing, because I don't know if you remember, I forget which version this was, but a very long time ago, mining in the asteroid rings was completely deterministic, and if you found a rock with gold in, you could mine it, log out, log back in, and mine it again, because it was exactly the same random seed would generate the same thing. So there is that element, which that becomes a real pain in the backside.
You and I know that randomisation's a pain in the neck. It is. We had this chat a while back, actually, didn't we? Oh, it can be Pete again, but because any sort of randomisation that you initiate is always going to involve a process of some sort, or some sort of seed.
It will.
And that seed is not always going to be completely random, because completely be what they are, they're structured. The only thing that's quite really random is nature.
Exactly.
So there's always going to be some difficulties around that. You end up having negative randomisations. Where do you start?
And that's the thing. I mean, they looked at that, and as much as it was fantastic, and it was just, I thought it was really, really cool that it actually kind of genuinely just did the same thing every time. They couldn't. What's this? Watching stuff. Eric working.
Eric, just got your alert on the watch, mate.
Awesome.
Good morning.
It was great that it was possible. It was great that it was there. But then they looked at it from a gameplay point of view and thought, people are just going to exploit this. This is a real problem.
That's the trouble, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think they've probably taken the same stance with surface stuff, thinking, ooh, we can't make it too deterministic because people will find a way of exploiting it, which is why things kind of disappear when you log off and back on again. It's like, oh, that thing isn't there anymore.
We had that a lot in Premium Beta, I think. People sort of... It's the whole farming thing.
It's always the danger.
And
Farming is the
so
danger.
many people object to it, and yet so many people at the same time are actually doing it.
Exactly,
You know,
yeah.
I hate farming. Quick, log in and do some farming. So, you know,
Exactly. Get into this combat zone. Yeah, do for error and error and error. So yeah, exactly. And that's just people's mentality. Is that they want to go for the quickest gain, don't they? It's like the least effort, the quickest gain, and then like, oh, I did all this, and it's like, yeah, but you rushed to it. You didn't, you know.
Well, in fairness, I mean, I wouldn't really be too critical in some respects, because why would I deliberately go for the slowest gain in the
Exactly.
Oh, no,
And
but I think I should do it the long way around. Now, in fairness, I've done a lot of stuff the long way round. That's because I'm stupid more than anything else.
It's a balancing act as well that I found they had to do, because if they make it too deterministic, everyone can farm it.
Yeah.
If they make it completely the opposite way, people complain it's too hard.
Exactly.
And
that's yeah.
They just can't win.
Yeah.
And
And I think
It is biasable as it currently stands. My apologies to anyone who's seriously thought about this, because I haven't, and this has just popped into my head. But given that you know which engineers you have, and you know which levels they're at, you also therefore know which recipes are available. You can therefore bias the roles. Well, so the roles for acquisition materials, missions, and combat, to give you the things that will actually matter to the particular recipes.
yes, yeah. So you can kind of.
So you might well get your yttrium or whatever, and you might not yet get selenium or something for another couple of weeks' time. Now, I'm not saying turn everything suddenly into an yttrium farm. Oh, every time I get yttrium, every single time, because that's a bit pointless too. But it might help for some people who by luck or chance, just aren't getting the bits and bobs that they're looking for. I know I'm certainly short of a couple of materials to go and take my nice shiny new Type 9 off to, I think it's Felicity Farseer is the one nearest best.
Oh yes, yeah.
I think she's quite near. I'm level 2 with her, I think, and I'm just going to take my Type 9 there when I've got enough to do 2 rolls, and then hope that the second roll isn't worse than the first one. But if it is, I'll accept it. No matter what it is, I'll accept it.
Just a couple of things. ZJ Targin, sorry, the chat's just catching up. Mind that back in the day. Yeah, I think we all kind of gave that a go, didn't we, with the asteroid rings on there?
No, I went to the stupid slow one. I didn't. I've got to get used to these. I've got to get some limpets at some point. I've got to do some mining.
yeah, get used to fixed weapons. I mean, gimbals are very good if you're starting out, but
I only use gimbal. I can't hit anything with a barn door.
I have to confess, I use gimbal with a target. It makes life like so much easier. I don't care. It's my game. I'll play it how I like, you know.
Exactly. It's like having a docking computer or not. It's up to you.
Docking computer. Oh God. I just found that so boring, sitting there waiting for it to go.
If you can just have the music, but, you know. Game with the have I heard anything about the advanced discovery scanner being changed so that it doesn't scan the entire system but has a limit? I know that Michael Brooks thought that it was a mistake. It shouldn't have been infinite, but I haven't heard that it will change anytime soon. I think it would be a bit.
I think it's been since it's been
Might be a bit late now.
It's
yeah,
starting.
it's,
I think I can see
Now,
that.
who would have found Hutton Orbital if it wasn't?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a difficult one, that, because if you didn't have that, it wouldn't be an advanced discovery scanner, would it?
Yeah. Is that what's the point? You kind of
The
go
trouble is,
after that
of course,
scanner. Yeah.
if it really is a scanner, so you're sending out a pulse and you're waiting for the pulse to come back, and the range is infinite, how long do you wait?
Yeah.
But of course, don't forget, it only scans and tells you what bodies in the system
Yeah,
and
exactly.
what they are. So it's not like it's not like a Uber.
No, indeed.
You still have to do some work to get
Yeah,
information on the
yeah.
individual planets or whatever. So it's not. I can't see it. I personally can't see it changing it up. So at least that way.
I say that, but as you're saying, the idea of multi-crew, does it suddenly become a thing then that it's not a... if you make it into a more involved process of scanning and discovering
Could do.
things, and it's something that a player can do whilst you're piloting and doing other
I
things?
still can't help thinking multi-crew will
That
involve
might be, but
the
that- yeah.
the shipborne ships.
Yes.
So
yes.
scan, boy, go out there and scan
See how long
something.
the system
Go and
takes
scan
that.
something.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I mean,
entirely
it
possible.
could be that the scanner's not just a sort of you just turn up and you actually have to have someone sort of actually looking around. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, sort of-
Looking at waveforms, trying to find
Exactly,
like a ping back or something. Yeah,
So it's a
exactly.
bit more sophisticated. Just press the button and wait for it
Or
to happen.
maybe they're spending all their time right now playing things like Pulsar. Okay, so what can we do?
Yeah, looking at the new the Star Trek demo from the Bridge
Yeah,
Group
at
from
E3,
E3,
yeah.
which looks really good. Actually, yes. And I mean that's maybe
That's a good suggestion. Sort of follows along with the small ships.
Probes to launch.
Having probes.
I always thought
We
that's
like
how-
probes.
We like probes.
That's-
I would like to distance myself from that comment.
Just brings us back to Independence Day, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm back, boys.
I'll be honest, I thought that's how exploration was always going to be. That you would
It was-
land,
yeah.
your ship would turn up, you'd fire probes out, they'd return and whatever, come back with some
Just
data.
like limpets.
Then,
Yeah.
Then you take your ship nearer to some bodies that it
But
suggests
you also have
are-
that counter argument. It's sort of like the advanced scanner does everything. You don't need to work for it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
so there's
yeah.
that sort of.
Oh, well, I don't mean it's scanning properly. I mean it would do the advanced scanning bit. So they'd head off. They'd say, "Oh, I found 5 planets and 6 things," but that's all I found. I'm sorry, you're going to have to go there with your advanced discovery scanner or your different limpet or whatever it might be to go and find out in detail what it really is.
Yeah, you still have to find the detail. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've still got to do somewhere rather than just jump in, sit at the star while you're scooping, send your friends out. 5 minutes at the back, lovely, next star, that sort of thing.
Yeah. And I remember that coming up very early on in the DDF that people were saying about the idea of launching probes into nearby stars. So there's even the idea of having like FSD probes, say, 10 around me. Which ones are going to be a good one to jump into? Because at the moment, most people just tend to pick a destination,
Pick a system and
route
hope
to it.
Yeah.
You miss all of those stars along the way. You have no idea which ones are good. I think
And that's one thing about the system map actually. In some ways, because we were talking about this yonks ago.
Don't say
But
horror.
I was ready for that.
back in the day, and people sort of you can just look at the system map. You haven't discovered it, and yet there's data on it already. You know, and I think even in some systems you can still see some data that you wouldn't expect to see, and then you cut that back a little bit so you can't. And that's where the probes come in. So you've got that sort of take some information away, it gives you some gameplay in return.
And I just wonder how many of those ideas were just hard or something. Like there's too much for one person to do it on. When you're flying from star to star, you're piloting, you're doing that one thing.
You think when we were back in let's say Alpha for the start, but I would say we all started off with the basics of left, right, up, down, forward, back, that sort of thing.
There's a back?
Fire the gun. yeah, there's a back. Yeah. And then we built that up. But even then, it's like driving a car at a burst. It's sort of, Jesus, I can't cope with all this information.
There's too many controls.
I remember very well when I first drove the car. You sat there rigidly like
2 miles an hour and it's terrifying.
and you didn't dare look at the binnacle and find out where you were going.
It's just
And it's the same with this. You build up as you get better and
layers
better.
of complexity.
And those of us who are in the alpha and beta were lucky enough to add as it got built in. Whereas now people have huge masses of stuff to learn.
Yeah.
And I think with the crew side of things that might help a little bit with
It might just,
taking
yeah.
it. And it gives good. I think some people I know used to play the older league with their brothers or whatever, and one would play. One would
Right
do
down
one
the
thing.
trade routes. So it's
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
ooh, that
Yeah,
sounds
it's
good
been
price.
exactly like that. We'd have the details of the routes and the little key strip on top of the Acorn Electron, and
Exactly. Yeah, I think it'd be nice to see some of that coming. I think make it a bit more collaborative.
Yeah.
But,
Except now we've got Excel.
DJ is saying that the Ori is actually in the files right now.
I think it's been there before.
I think it's been there for a while. Actually, I think the passenger things were there. There was a listing at least saying something about passengers.
There's been a lot of placeholders now. I think.
Exactly. And I think, like I said, all of these things, they're all possible. They're all there, but they are just kind of.
I suspect
Testing.
what Frontier are doing, without going too much into detail, is they're putting interfaces in already,
Yes.
and that's sort of ready for the actual nuts and bolts to be bolted on for one of its face, I suspect. So because you don't shove it in it. You don't. Some systems are organic when you write them, but others you sort of have to think ahead. We'd like to have this, we'd like to have that, like to have that.
Well, it's like the ship designs. All of the ships have been designed with enough internal space to fit things in when they need it. But you don't build all that up in one go. And
no,
then
you don't.
Kind of,
you have the blank space, which is why we haven't been able to walk around it yet.
Yeah, because
they haven't finalised that detail. Because there's nothing worse.
The wallpaper hasn't been designed yet.
There's nothing worse than having a ship designed out. You walk around it. I mean, and then when the SRVs came in, you suddenly find that your ship corridor layout's changed because they put the SRV in the middle. Sort of thing.
How do we? Yeah, exactly.
You know, so finish the ship, SRV, ship in ship, where else is likely to come, and then you'll be able to walk around.
What's he saying now? Someone found the unknown
probe.
probe.
There's it's been on the forums. There's been an unknown probe.
Is there no pictures? Pictures? We want pictures.
Pictures or it doesn't exist.
Exactly. Yeah.
Picture it didn't happen. You know what it says.
And I'm nowhere near the Ross 47 system. That's going to take me a heck of a long time to get there. Python was carrying an unknown probe. That's all he says.
And Mike likes probes.
Yes.
So.
Oh, nice to see you, Bindle Stiff. See you first thing Monday, I expect, my friend. They take your pirate Python and start scanning again. See, I want to get back and see what's going on there. I wonder what that's about.
Yeah.
If that ties into the other things going on at the moment.
Who knows? It's unknown.
So yeah, so I think there was some mention of the elements which are going to be coming into to 2.2. We know that passenger missions are going to be a thing. That's something. Is he okay?
Yeah, just moved. I suddenly noticed he wasn't there.
We lost that. We lost it.
Grant will be looking forward to those, I think. Captain Cow will be taking passengers.
Finally makes sense to have an orca, doesn't it?
Yes, it is fantastic orca. Absolutely.
Hopefully not run out of fuel.
So would you fly Cow Spaceways?
Might give it a miss.
Not after what he did to Cuba with 3. But you do wonder, because there's all this talk about, is it the dolphin and the panther and that sort of thing?
Yeah.
All those, you do wonder if with the crew and the passenger stuff, if they're suddenly going to pop up on a ship or something like that. Because that would make sense. Like, you know, the sort of thing Brucey Bunny's make things go, oh! And like if you go,
Yeah.
That was not one of the probes, we'll point out.
it's alright, Amy just pinched me from behind. No, she didn't. But
Max was just saying the unknown probe is listed as contraband in many systems. You thought that meant the unknown artifacts. It's different.
I think that's going to be different, yeah.
There's more to it.
I think I have heard references to unknown probes. Yeah.
See, there is lots of.
One thing I've noticed quite a lot of since Engineer came out is you've got lots of data packages that are discovered now out and about rather than being on the bases and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so you get. I think that's the thing I've enjoyed about it. It's just the little things. You know, as much as the gathering the materials and stuff. Yeah, okay, it's kind of frustrating.
Actually, I enjoy it, and I'm saddened.
I'm
a hoarder.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love that's what I love. But I that kind of when you're looking for that one thing and you can spend 4 hours and still not get it. That's kind of I think of a point of consternation. But I think just there's so many interesting things now, like going into the signal sources and it's just selecting a ship when you're in Super Cruise. Sometimes you get data packets and things like that, and I think just those little interesting things. It's
Get
all
you think about
more stuff.
what's going on.
I'm a bit of a collector.
I order. I scan almost everything at starports now, just on the off chance. Oh, something atypical. What's it?
Oh, that's your fault. You're a bit of a magpie, I think.
Yeah. That's what it's the first time I think when engineers hit, and I went into a Hazres, popped a couple of ships, and then just got completely distracted from killing ships because I was like, ooh, stuff!
I've done that in the combat zone and nearly had my backside.
It's like, ooh!
I'm spending ages collecting stuff.
Hitting a pinata, this candy comes out.
Yeah, meanwhile I was being fired at. It took me a little while to realise what was going on, actually.
Did you shoot a barnacle when they first came out?
No.
I've not seen a barnacle yet. I didn't go and visit them when I
looked at them and then went that way. Over there. What's that?
Yes, yeah.
DJ Johnson Ross 47 found the ancient artifacts. Ancient artifacts, I think, have been there for a while, haven't they? They're kind
quite
of
possibly because they aren't at all.
Yeah, they
just
aren't.
as Mr. Taryan says, it aren't the unknown probes. Artifacts are artifacts. Probes are probes.
There's lots of different. I noticed there's so many new market materials now as well. That kind of there's different commodities in the market as well. I didn't even realise it was just the odd things that kind of.
Yeah,
I like the fact there are so many different materials.
I love the fact there's loads of stuff because it
but-
makes it feel like you can't keep it all in your head.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be able to keep it all in your head because it's a galaxy. It's huge.
I was a bit concerned because I thought, I can't pick up any more material. I've only got 4. This was in the sidewinder. I've only got 4
Cargo,
cargo containers. And it's only when I looked, and it's only like, then I looked at the panel and I went, I could have picked up loads. You know?
Yeah.
About 600 or something like that.
Yeah. It's
1,000
gone
now.
up now as well. Actually, I
1,000
think.
now.
And 1,000
Oh, you
materials.
toad! Have you got that? How much arsenic have you got? You cheeky
A little bit.
toad.
That's a bit of a collectomaniac. Yeah.
In fairness, I spent 1 because I got a roll, and I've got
Let's have a
1.
look. So I've got the fabled. Yes.
Oh, you're my best friend.
Oh, I've got the bloody zinc. I was looking everywhere for zinc the other day, and I was like, just couldn't find any.
How have you got
There's
so
some
much?
zinc at Betel? Actually, Betel 1 I think has zinc.
How have you got so much yttrium? It's supposed to be a rare element.
I found a nice little planet which
Yttrium
definitely had some,
aura.
and I just stayed on it
You're
for like
farming.
an hour.
You're farming.
Exactly. It's See,
Because I think
was bad.
I think someone in one of the chats, I think possibly on Discord, I think about the proportions of different things. You know,
Yeah.
hydrogen and helium should be bucket loads.
Massively abundant.
Yeah. And then we get down to things like yttrium and if one of the manufactured elements comes up, I should not be happy.
Just unobtainium.
yeah. Anything above 110, forget it. It's not gonna, it shouldn't happen. So, but on the thinking about that, it could hint at sort of a civilization mucking around, that sort of.
Yeah, just leftover remnants of something like that.
Exactly. So you could
Cosmic
have that.
McDonald's packets.
Sorry.
Cosmic McDonald detritus. Lovely floating
Yeah.
past.
Yeah.
Fragments of plastic all over the surface. I've been here. Good.
It's supposed to clean up
evening,
all the storms anyway, but there you go.
Well, if they're as bad as humans,
Hello, Greg.
there's no hope on there.
Welcome.
Easy to get arsenic in the ice fields now. You can mine them. See, this is the thing. There's all this new stuff
There is.
coming in. I think, and it's learning in that all again. I think is the difficult.
I don't
thing.
mind that at all. I'm going through the engineering stuff so slowly, and it really doesn't bother me at all because most of the listeners will know that I spend all my time around Amphipolis and the Betel system, and slowly turning the entire galaxy a part of the Betel Free. And I'm not doing too bad, but that means I'm not spending a great deal of time with the engineers and acquisition of wealth and materials.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with a lot
Because
of
I'm
people.
quite happy doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, and that's it. I think when people kind of set into that mindset, like I fell into that trap for the first few days, and that's what frustrated me was I specifically wanted to do that one thing and find those components,
Yes.
those conductive components. That guy needs them. I want them. And then I spent hours and hours finding them, and then I kind of had an epiphany a few days later where it was like, I should just carry on doing what I enjoy.
Exactly.
And then I found them within about 30 minutes, just kind of randomly. I was like, oh,
thanks.
Exactly. I mean, that's one of the people that have been complaining about engineers have forgotten is, and I think people have said this on the various Facebook threads and possibly the forum. I don't go there anymore. I get too tempted. But I think
He
quite a
was
few
banned.
yeah.
Again.
I stay under my bridge these days. But some people have said that I've forgotten. What was I going to say?
Yes! My work here is done!
Put them up!
It'll come to me later on.
It was something to do with...
Beware of
engineers.
rambling too much. You forget what you started out to say.
Absolutely. Sir Humphrey. Yeah. Yeah, it
just
was
like
something to
basic
do with
math, wasn't it?
engineers and perhaps pursuing particular goals
Oh
instead
yes,
of
yes.
allowing life
yeah,
to develop.
yeah. I think a lot of people were complaining
Taking
about
a
engineers,
holistic view.
and they got too sucked into thinking engineers come in. We have to play this. No, you don't. Like you say, you play your own game. And if you happen to fall in a little bit, then build it up a little bit. Collect something that piques your interest, that maybe you want to go
I
down
can,
that
I
avenue.
can also
But you
understand
don't-
someone who wants the super duper uber laser,
Yeah.
and then goes all out. Because I mean, I've gone all out to expand something. I've gone all out to bring democracy to the masses. But I might also be the kind of person who goes all out that I must have the laser. There's one that damages even when people's shields are up, isn't
Yes,
there?
yes.
There's
I think that's perhaps one of the problems that people have with
and that's
engineers.
fine. That's perfectly
They,
valid.
they feel that engineers are sort of, if you play it, you've got an advantage over people, so they feel they have to do it.
Yeah.
And you do think perhaps sometimes yes, that might have a point, and perhaps some of these ultra weapons should be made available on the second-hand market. You know, someone made an ultra weapon with an engineer and then just flog it off, and you know that.
Yeah.
So you do wonder if later on some of these sort of rare weapons will turn up in a black market or whatever later
I've
on.
got no problem with that. Slightly lower
start to
spec.
feed down.
Class 3 rather than
Now-
Class 4 when you've got a Class
Yeah.
4 slot, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because if the engineers are rare and they only talk to people they like, then the weapons they produce will be similarly rare. So the second-hand market for the similarly rare weapons from the similarly rare people will be rare. I think you see where I'm headed. So the odds of you getting the one you want should
It's
be.
going to be very, very low. Yeah,
Yeah. In fact, you shouldn't be able to get the one you want. You should be able to get the one just under the one you want. You can either cheat, pay your 100 million credits, and get your Class 2, or you can work, find your bits, and have your Class 3.
How many zeros is that? Can you put
That's
some
a lot of
figures in there,
zeros.
please?
That's a lot of zeros.
That's a billion?
Hold on.
Or a trillion? A trillion haulers later.
Right,
I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Are we talking American billions or
Proper billions, exactly.
Proper billions.
Proper billions, okay, good.
The UK.
Is that 1,000 million then?
Something like that. No, that's a lot. That's a lot. But yeah, but no, that's the thing, isn't it? It's just too tempting. I think sometimes people don't realise that when you're playing it from that point of view, that we've all been playing it a little bit of time, and our kind of expectations have shifted along with it. And Frontier are always building up the latest point release with everyone in mind, you know, so that 0 to 40 hour player base. So
Yeah.
people come into the game now and find that all of the stuff which is in engineers, you kind of look at it and there's just so many cool things you do. Most players for that first 10 hours are just going to be doing stuff, not actually interacting with engineers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Most of them won't even have an invite.
If I
so they wouldn't even know.
started right
Yeah.
now, and on 0 hours, and I bought an Elite for the first time, I wouldn't have a clue about any of this. It would all just pop out. Oh, there's
Like,
one of these.
this,
and
and this,
oh,
this.
yeah. And
I think the way
I'm
to
almost
do it
envious.
is build it up
Yeah.
like we've been lucky enough to have it forced on it. We're building up our gameplay.
I'm almost envious.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I think that's the thing. Is it's too easy to forget looking at it that way, isn't it? It's like, you know, we're so used to kind of gradually being introduced to the elements
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
just forget
I
that
suppose
it's.
because
That other people have had to, they've sort of been dropped in it completely.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
there you go, get on with it. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa. Yeah.
there's an element to that. When I bought my gaming laptop to help Frontier with Alpha, I hadn't played computer games since F19 or whatever it was at university, and that was previous century and whatever. And I bought Skyrim
Oh yes. Yeah.
because I'd heard it was quite good. I knew nothing about it. And of course, I knew nothing about it. And you suddenly plonked, and you're like, right, so what do I do? Well, let's look at the keys, right. That one's forward, good. Left, good. Right, what else? Now what else? And actually, I, if you like, was one of the new people who would have come to Elite as they are now, because all the DLC had come out, all of the people had finished Skyrim, they'd killed the dragons or whatever it is that you do.
Yeah.
And here's me turning up 2 or 3 years later, with all the bits already finished, all the patches done, the DLC done, not having a clue. So I was like a first minute Elite player.
Yeah.
And actually it was great. I loved it.
I think we also had, because the forums are smaller, the chance to find out information was that much easier. Because now it's just got so big that it's difficult to keep
It's
track of what's
monthly.
being said. And I do remember we had the docking, the speed docking games and that sort of thing, and which helped people practice. Cause there was, we were in this 5 light year box pretty much, and there wasn't really a huge amount to do. So we were restricted to learning how to fly, sort of wing wagging and that sort of thing, and doing the speed docking. So we got that practice aspect, which is why so many of us sort of look sneer at these people saying docking's difficult, and it's
Docking
It's
is
like,
difficult.
It's like, yeah, it bloody was, but we've got used to it. Yeah.
exactly.
Well, fine. I'll give you the docking challenge. Keyboard only.
Yeah. I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go.
Keyboard only. None of these hot ass things. Keyboard only.
Actually, I did for a couple of weeks. I did play with keyboard only, and I thought. I got the 52 for Christmas.
I've got an X52 as well, but and yes, I mean for us docking is comfortable and whatever. But if I were to start it now, and if I didn't know about all these wonderful wizardry and such, like multiple monitors and hot asses, and I tried to dock using up, down, left, right, thrust and not so much thrust. There would be a few pieces of my ship in various floating in different directions.
Do you know now? Despite the fact that it's so well passed, even now, I get, particularly when you get that moment when you see ship scan detected, you forget to request a dock.
Yes,
And
I've done that a few times.
And you're that close to the letterbox. You say, "No, trespass warning! Quick, reverse!"
Yeah, I love that though. I think it's just.
And it does build up the tension a little bit.
It's just the little things like that I think, and there needs to be more elements like that to the game, I think, and they really need to take advantage of some of the surface-based areas in the game, I think, because there's so much gameplay can come out of that, just base structures.
It's just
like
basically hiking at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's nice scenery. It's lovely and everything, but
There's no
it's just
danger
not
like in Doctor Who when the old oyster shell cloud swallowing it up.
Yeah, something crazy like that. I mean, it's the nice.
Wow, you're going to be a Hartnell.
Was
I'm trying to remember which one that was.
That was
yeah.
the Daleks. It's 1963 or 4.
Yeah, there are some nice. I don't know if you've seen them, like the bases. You go near the bases and you get the warnings now and things like that. So there are, some nice elements there. But are you like a Fletcher, Christie?
The Bounty.
Mutiny.
Mr. Christians! Mrs. Ahead.
That'll be a no then.
No,
I follow
Captain
no one.
Kerrash is flying and we're all happy passengers.
Missed some bits in the chat. There's DJ saying, just hate the RNG of getting matches to make it so higher ranked NPCs drop better matches.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think
If you kill an elite ship,
They're more advanced,
it
they've
should
done
have-
more, so yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking maybe there's something you want to it where, like in other games when you see crafting systems, there's usually a hierarchy. Like you drop a few basic components, but then maybe you can take, I know, some damaged focus crystals. If you get 10 of them, an engineer can exchange it. Okay, I'll make a pristine focus
I've
crystal.
suggested that in the forums already.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of want that kind of like a hierarchy, some sense of progression to it, something where it's not completely random. Yeah, I understand these things are rare, but you also want that kind of, if I find 10 slightly less than rare things, then there's more probability of finding something. You want it to be a bit gamey, that it's not completely random, because I think if it is completely random, it's just so infuriating.
That's a really good suggestion, Tyne. I'm with that one, because...
But you also have to have a certain amount of waiting, don't you? And
You do.
And that also
balancing it.
It's balanced with that as well. So.
Where I'm headed is that any of the players, once they've reached, I don't know, deadly, dangerous, whatever, tycoon, whatever it might be, are likely to have better components in their ships than Mr. I've been playing Elite for 35 minutes.
Exactly, yeah, so the ships...
So if you built their ship, if they built my ship, again, then the odds are they would scoop up something quite nice. So the same should apply for the NPCs. If you kill an Elite NPC, you get good quality stuff.
And
Plus a bit of dross.
The bigger, more expensive, more complex ships should have the better, rarer parts, and it kind of makes sense. And
One of the things Alvin and I have discovered recently is Alvin has started flying out in the galaxy, and
I've seen him around,
he's doing quite well. He's probably doing too well, to be honest. He's only been flying a week in game time, and already got 61 million credits to his name.
I haven't got that. We haven't played a year.
And all he's been doing is community goals, and I think the community goals need to be brought back.
Scale back a bit.
Because it's just too easy to make money, and within a few weeks people are flying in anacondas to A-spec because of the community goals, and it's just like you've not had. I know people hate the grind, but in some ways you now sort of get things almost no work whatsoever.
The wonder of I've afforded an adder. I'm not kidding you. I made it to adder when we were playing. Was it the betas when you could have your Type 9s and you could,
Just
and I went through the beta and I just about reached Anaconda by the time I finished. I was determined. I wanted to see each ship. And yeah, I kind of used the Type 9 truthfully as a purely as a means to an end to afford the Anaconda.
Yeah.
But if you, like you say, if you do a community goal and you get paid 5 million credits because I killed one ship,
Oh, the last few.
then I won't see an adder. I won't climb up to the dizzy heights of Cobra. I've missed so much. But then I'm an elite geek. All right, I'll hold up my hand. Hello, my name is Steph, and I play Elite.
It's like, welcome to Elite Anonymous. But no, it was absolutely right. I mean, as soon as I got to the adder, I was just so pleased. I was like, the jump range was so much better than the side one. I was like, I went off to Sajay. I was like, I'm going. I was like, yes, I've got a ship which is big enough to explore in. I'm going. You know, this is really cool.
It's that feeling of progress and actually sort of achievement. And I think the grind kind of took that away a little bit, but it does need balance, so you don't sort of suddenly be able to afford an Asp Explorer, for instance, or a T6. A T6 is probably the one.
That's my favourite ship, T6.
It's a heck of a ship for a million credits. I mean, bundle it up, go on a rares run, and
Space truck.
Yeah.
yeah.
Elite Anonymous.
I like. I was just where did it say? Yeah, DJ say I should name my ship the T's. I like
Absolutely.
that. I think I could fit that with the letters on the
It's when it gets stripped down, that's the trouble.
My escape pod is called the Squee.
Dangerous.
Because it's part of Elite Anonymous, yes.
Elite Anonymous.
T6. Honestly, T6 is a great ship. Granted, I'm playing an Anaconda, Python at the moment, but T6 was brilliant.
It makes so much money with the T6.
It glides into starport. It's delightful.
I think Ian got the one on this thing. I don't think any of us said it was his favourite. We said it's a ship that's been a good stepping stone and it's probably a bit too cheap.
It's like every single one, it's got its own unique charm, and I think you kind of forget that. You just get so used to playing in one particular way that you just kind of grind yourself into a rut.
You can,
don't you? You
You probably are at the moment, because you're sat out in the middle of nowhere with no starport, with an Asp, followed by an Asp, followed by an Asp.
But, yeah,
I've got half a dozen. Yeah, I've got half a dozen ships sat at Amphipolis, and I would deliberately swap. Just because I fancy it.
Just to try something out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As soon as I got the Anaconda, I mean, I was so pleased that I'd kind of reached that point. It was kind of like, yes, you know, it was like you've done it, sort of thing. And I flew it for a little bit, and then I kind of felt like I just want to go back and play with some of the others. I like the feel of the small ships.
Yeah, because the Condas, it's big, but it's not necessarily.
Previous system had a water world. Is that?
Oh, did I miss one?
Did we miss a water world?
No.
Come back.
You can have that if you want to rewind the stream. You're welcome to that one. It's only 10,000 light years out. So
pause it, rewind it, let everyone know where it is. Then it's a race. First one to the water world.
New Hutton challenge. Get to the water world at Kerrash.
Let's get that one.
First one there.
See if we can find it. It would have been up in that channel. Cool Sax saying thoughts
Oh,
on
don't
the
you as well.
keelback.
That's handy.
You're never going to find it now.
It's gotta be about 3.
Thoughts on the keelback? I've not actually flown a keelback yet.
Have you?
I am actually thinking about it because with the mining being the way it is, I've got a mining Cobra, but I have to fly the mining Cobra without any
top row.
limpets. Top row. We're scanning.
No.
Here's the Janet and John version.
No.
My day.
Seeing things.
If you can find it,
if you
you're
can find
welcome
it,
to it.
it's yours. Keelback. I've got a mining Cobra, and because the Cobra's relatively small, I've got a decent sized refinery in it, but I have to scoop everything by hand. So I've managed.
Because you can't get.
I've managed 2 tons of bauxite, 112 credits.
Hey, don't complain. You have a ship to do your scooping. I have to do. Yeah, well, let's move.
But I'm thinking keelback. I was thinking Asp because Asp has got. But I'm thinking keelback because it's got enough hard points to do a bit of mining and a bit of defending.
Yeah,
and a bit of room in it.
The interesting thing about keelback is, you might have seen it mentioned, but it is the smallest ship with a launched fighter bay in. It's actually
Which
got
one?
The keelback.
Is it?
You can't use it yet, but if you look on the underside of it, you notice that it's got the big panel on there, and it's ready for the launch fighter bay. So it's the smallest ship that you
I've
can
not
fit
seen many
another one in.
keelbacks out there, to be honest. I don't know.
I've seen 1 or 2 around. I mean, I quite like the engine. I like the vector of the engine. That's pretty cool.
Bit Thunderbirdies there, isn't it?
That's what I did. I got one. I flew around like that for about 5 minutes, and I went back in docked, and I was like, that was fun. Okay.
Yeah, so I should be keelbacking when that's my next project is keelbacking.
Well, that leads me to wonder if the balance of ships in the game matches the balance of ships people have. Because I don't see many adders. I see mostly Vipers, and
Adders are stepping stone.
you know, I see mostly Vipers and Asps and more Third Lance. It's that middle range, you know.
Third Lance are very
And
important.
I do wonder if it matches the balance of ships that people have in the game. If you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the game kind of.
Yeah, well, that's
works
almost
with
inevitable because people will progress from Sidewinder to Adder to wherever it is they're headed
Yeah.
towards. So, and you'll end up at the end point probably of each class. So I've got a Vulture and a Third Lance for fighting if I have to, and then I've got an Asp if I want to visit somewhere, and I've got a Python if I want to do general trading, because most of the starports around Battle are outposts.
I've got to answer that question that Tequila asked. Stop people like you shooting them.
Yeah, exactly. Tequila. Yeah, they're pretty.
Well, are you part of the pro-Barnacle faction?
Well, no, it's more self-preservation.
Greenpeace for barnacles.
Don't poke the barnacles. That you never know what they're going to do to you when they rise up.
Exactly. Yeah, we never know. On that note, actually, we should jump back to the newsletter because the 2 community goals which are in there this week all rotate around that business going on
Yes, they
in
do,
Rogue. Let's
yeah.
jump back to the. There was a couple of interesting little quotes. If I can find them.
Please don't kill me, Snuffler. Is that one of them?
Don't kill me, Snuffler. Can't see. Yeah.
In the Drabble, I managed to get that into a Drabble this week. I don't do Drabbles very often. I almost always miss out because I'm just incompetent. But I managed to get Please Don't Kill Me something. So I'm hoping that Grant sang it.
It's not in conjunction.
upset.
It's not in
Already
conjunction
upset.
with Moot getting killed, is it?
No.
Oh, you could have done a double
I
whammy
did manage
there.
to get Please Don't Kill Me Snuffler in there.
Travel show next week, 7 o'clock ish.
Ish. Plus or minus.
Twitch.tv// Psycho Cow.
Usually host him.
Yeah.
Aren't they? So Tequila's asking how are we supposed to get to the meta alloys. Well, you can get meta alloys without getting to the Barnacle site. I think if you go to.
There's a surface station at the moment.
Oop, and I can't spell to save my life. There we go.
Yay.
Meow. So yeah, if you head over to the Maya system,
Which is why I went to Maya to go and pick up 3.
Maya.
Exactly what I did.
Please don't kill me, Snuffler. That's absolutely it.
I don't know what all the fuss was about because he never killed me at all.
He did. He killed me. The one who killed me the most in Alpha was Grant Walcott.
I have more battles at Exarga and I haven't seen.
Exarch I've not seen him in ages.
I haven't seen him for ages. But
Daniel's
I have more battles
progress?
with him.
Yes,
There we go.
Buy your meta alloys here,
That looks like it's inside the planet, I'm afraid.
and then discover you make a lot
Oh,
of
that's
them. Don't sell them anywhere.
3D. I'm going to 3D now.
I love those planets. I do. I know it's sad, but I always see Star Wars. Was it the first Star Wars film where they have the hologram?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always see Star Wars when I see that. In fairness, I always see 70s Doctor Who when you do a hyper jump.
Yeah,
Sort of the blue of the opening titles for Tom Baker. Someone watched 70s Doctor Who when they did that, I'm sure of it. I don't get tired of it. I love it.
That's Akila's got a point. Yes, but the stations don't get them unless someone gets them from the Barnacles, correct? Well, someone's got to be delivering
someone's doing
them.
it.
Someone's
It's
doing
not
it.
me.
And if the feds have got a giant grey capital ship hovering over it, who do you think is?
You're right. They should organise it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
it's just it's all part of the the plan. Things are coming.
I think people have said it before. It does say a lot about people's race. Use alien species. What the first thing we do? Don't say hello. Just shoot them up.
Shoot it, blast it with things. Then the feds
We
come
come
in
in peace,
and
shoot
try
to
and
kill.
monopolise it.
Yeah.
Yes, they'll stick up the Coca-Cola stickers.
Exactly. Start charging you double the price for it.
Absolutely.
You can't just farm it naturally. So yeah, I think it's going on that way. I think the little hint in the newsletter this week is for the. This is all around this system. I think this is all kind of heating up. But I know this system is nowhere near Maya, but of course, things between the Federation and the Empire are getting a
They
little
are
bit
usually a bit tense.
tense. A bit of
Crotchety.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
Niggly.
Niggly.
So we've got the feds on the one side. So the Darmo system is of considerable strategic value to the Federation, and we will not surrender it without a fight. So that's the feds, and then the Empire, of course, are in
Yeah,
To
yeah,
the
but we're
well-being
going to
of the
fight you for
citizens
it.
of Daramo, it is imperative that the imperial law is instated as soon as possible. So we've got this big argument going over on this system at the moment.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Do you know
I've been
what?
listening to Drew.
A virtual round of applause.
There you go.
Rereading that, it doesn't help make me think about a certain event that's happened the last day or so. It's very similar.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Someone's trolling
That could be it.
again.
Or someone predicted it.
Divide. The divide, yes. Good times to be independent with things. Well, of course, there is the
Join the
alliance.
battle free.
Join the truckers.
Oh yes, the Hutton Orbital Truckers.
Yes.
Yes, they're fiercely independent and very helpful.
Yeah. Oh, from the superpower. I had a caveat in mind only after you said it, and we replied to it.
What's that? Imperial.
Oh, dear.
Oh,
They're coming out now.
Yeah, I was
They're
gonna
coming
say,
out
here we
now.
go.
We've got the
votes will start coming out.
Oh, that's a good question. 'Cause that's been going on for ages.
Alliance ships.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of hoping for them, though the lore always had them as a bit of a ragtag, a bit of a
That's
Battlestar
the
Galactica.
problem. Is that, I mean, the kind of the organising enough to get a shipyard, I think, is quite a big thing, isn't
But
it?
it still
So-
comes back to what I was saying earlier about the motorway and the different brand of cars.
Exactly. Yeah, you do get the odd kind of kit car that someone's
Yeah,
put together themselves.
I mean,
you
the
know.
Alliance would be almost your Caterhams and your Morgans and your Nobles and whatever, and not your Fords, your Citroens and whatever.
So I'm kind of hoping the things like the ship kits and all those
Yeah,
different things like that.
exactly.
You start to see the Alliance ships, which are a bit of kind of a random mix of all those kind of things like that.
Bits and
Brilliant.
pieces from
Yeah.
all sorts, yeah.
You'd have Imperial curvy fixtures, and Federal probably ones with buy two sell buy one get one free stickers on or something like that.
It'd be like going to Africa where they make the best use of every bit of resource they have,
Exactly, just
and you get cars
welded
that
on
have
bits
bits,
of-
of wood on them and curved bonnets from a Merc and that
Yeah.
sort of thing, you know.
That's it.
And
Exactly.
You've just created the Alliance shipyard.
yeah, but the shipyard thing, I don't see why there could be scope for a CG for that, because there's already community goals in place to build stations or at least enhance them and that sort of thing. I don't see any reason why there couldn't be one for shipyard. But that said, it means Frontier would have to pull their fingers out and do more ships and
Yeah.
ship components, which is a heck of a job to
It's a
expand
big
up
job,
to
and
one
we
ship
don't yet
without
have
having
orbital
ship.
shipyards.
I
We have
know.
stations, but we don't have
I
orbital
know.
shipyards.
I would love to see something like that. Just variations in the kind of scenarios of things.
Well, no, I'm talking about you almost like again.
It's one of the-
Star Trek this time, where obviously your Enterprise
Yeah.
pulls out from the big shipyard effectively.
Yes. Yep. Where it's
I'd
been
like to see
built
some of
up
them.
in all. Yeah.
Where
Exactly.
else? Where else do you fix your broken Farraguts?
Exactly. Yeah. They've got to come from somewhere. At the moment, they just appear, and I think that's the unfortunate thing is there's a lot of work and effort in building something like that. And I don't think there's enough payoff for it. It's like you've got that
Exactly, no.
immediate cool wow factor of wow. But once you've seen a few, ship ports like that,
It wears off, doesn't it?
It does.
it's like
It's still nice,
seeing a
but-
Coriolis. The first time we saw a Coriolis, it was like this is amazing. It's like the details. Like, now we just kind of go in and out and we don't even care.
It's like when we-
Squeed.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
it's like when you first saw Cutter and you thought, oh.
Yeah.
But now it's not. God's sake, not
get
enough
out
Cutter.
of the way.
And I agree that there is a trade-off there, and I agree there's only a certain amount of time you can put into each release and whatever. But every time you add to the variety, 5 years from now, the person joining for the first time will be wowed by this
Exactly.
variety. So
Yeah.
if you don't get started, you don't finish it.
Yeah, exactly. Some good points, and I want to bring out. DJ saying Malik T has a fair point. The federal battle cruiser, you can see small outposts of order, but you can't see the battle cruiser, which is bigger than an outpost. It's kind of silly because the battle cruiser should be visible in orbit from planet. That's just a case of the spawning the objects, isn't it?
It
It's
is.
just
But
really
again,
fun.
suddenly I've got Star Wars in my head where all these the little TIE fighters seem to be a bit bigger than the Star
Yeah.
Destroyers. It's like, how did that fit in the docking bays?
But on that subject, I do quite like the fact that now, when you're coming in towards the station, you do see the point of light, the
Yeah.
station.
The little, yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't grow like that. It grows and then like that.
Suddenly,
sort of-
yeah,
that's fine.
So it's so they're plainly working on it, and I suspect it will improve. That'll be the same sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it's the same with anything like
with any game where you've got a kind of that level detail system where things pop in. There's, I mean, even something like Skyrim, like you said, there's always those little things where you see like the tufts of grass start to appear in front of you. There's always kind of some technical limitation, which means you can't do something.
But there's also physical limitation. I think someone mentioned this years ago when we talked about this, like that very subject about Skyrim and the grass. Your eyes can't necessarily pick out the detail beyond a certain distance. Let's take 100 yards, definitely not, you're not going to be able to pick out detail. It's just a mush of colour there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
you've got to know where to cut corners, I think,
Exactly,
in anything. Like, you can't have everything working. I mean, this game's basically got, infinite draw distance. There's literally 100,000 light years across, in all directions.
That's one thing I do find, that sometimes you do get stars at still points of light where there should be a discernible disk. Like when we look up just here, some of the planets are a discernible disk if you look closely enough.
Yeah.
And that needs to be
Little tweak to the
It's a lot of work.
For people who then don't notice it had changed at all.
Yeah.
And I think that's the frustrating thing, is it's putting all that effort into the little things, and we've all been guilty of it. There's so many things that have gone into the game that we haven't even noticed, and it's taken 2 months later where someone else points it out, and I hear like Ed or something. It's like, that's been there for so long.
You get people like Mike Evans and he says, it's been there for ages, open your eyes sort of thing.
And that's really good. I love the fact I am still discovering things that people go, did you not know about that? I don't mind that at all. We've got a few months ago, wasn't it, about a year I suppose now, dear old Forza discovering that when you're docking, the picture of the Coriolis has arrows that tell you where the docking port is. Most of us were going, did you not know that?
But bear in mind,
still discovering.
Forza's not the most attentive person. Let's face it, he's the guy that ran out of fuel, for goodness sake.
True, but I love the idea that you two will know that I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I think,
and I will discover it myself for the first time a year from now.
But what I do like is that every now and then I stop and put on the debug camera. I should stop. And put myself outside the ship I allow R2D to, and just have a look round, and you discover some great sights, and just have it. And every now and then I just press a screenshot, and you're still discovering stuff, and it is all very, very. That's a disc there. No, it's not. It's your targeting.
Interesting, John. You never actually scan the star fully. You just leave it unknown.
I don't have only because I'm rushing back.
Because you're
of
course, a lunch date.
Things are happening, so I want to get back. But
anywhere we should be going.
And anywhere but Mayo. DJs have got to go in there. One thing you'd like to see is static points of interest on the planet, so you can bookmark your findings and share with other players. I would like that too.
That's a nice idea.
Because I mean, I've noticed at the moment you get down on a planet, you're in your SRV, you're driving along. It's like, and it does actually show you where you are. I don't know if you've noticed that. If you zoom in
you got the grid
system map.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's nice.
Okay. Something I've not seen yet, but I'm going to
do it. Exactly.
It's not intuitive. That's one thing that I've discovered it in.
Yeah, it's like you've got it, and to me, it's so close to being perfect, but it's like they've just not put that extra little bit in, and it's like
you need push pins like you're having.
Exactly. You just want to. It's like right there. Oh, I found a really cool crater there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like DJs, the problem is at the moment is all of the points of interest you kind of find on the surface. They're all just deterministically generated, aren't they? But they're not actually. They won't reappear there again. So if you find a little basin or something. A lot of that again goes all the way back to what we said right at the start. Is this idea of it's trying to prevent people from exploiting it,
Fine.
which is one thing.
But it does. Coming from a Chockin point of view, it does help that sort of cooperative gameplay element, which a lot of people do like, and a lot of it, I think Frontier want that. That's one of the things that sort of hinted at. They want people playing together, which is why otherwise it wouldn't be doing crews and that sort of thing. So it's
Ooh, that's
where do you
Halloween David Braben actually? It's quite sinister.
Yeah, it's freaky. Yeah,
that's sinister.
I'm gonna have to move it. That's the problem. See, that's the thing. I would love to be able to move the damn bobblehead after I leave the dock. I mean, it's like they say, are they welded on? It's like I need to cut it off.
I'm sorry, I need a technician. I'm sorry, unions thing.
Just
You know,
to move
unions
my
thing.
bobblehead. Yeah. I want to move my
Are
bobblehead.
you saying you want to drag and drop your bobblehead?
Exactly. I want to.
Drag and drop bobblehead.
That's what I want. That's
No,
what I want.
that's definitely a union thing. I'm sorry, I'm a union.
If you want that,
tax
go
rep.
and play it. Go and play it if you want that sort of
No,
thing.
it needs
Sort of thing.
that is genuinely sinister. I mean, I'm going to have trouble sleeping tonight.
I think DJ's hit the nail on the head with that. Actually, it's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it's the problem of persistence. Let's go to this planet. Why not? That's only 10 seconds.
I mean, the thing with persistence is how far do you go with the bookmarking side of it?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it got to be. You got to have a limit. Otherwise, people have gazillions of bookmarks. You know?
Yeah. Well, there is a limit
And
in there.
that's
I think
data
it's
with
it's 256. I think something like that.
It'll be,
yeah. It's somewhere around that thing, or 120.
Very Coriolis.
One thing I would like it with bookmarks, I think,
Very
is
nice.
colour coding for them.
Yeah. So you can identify one specifically.
That's actually a good idea. I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. But so don't be grappling my wobbly bubble too much.
You should know.
Yeah. But
I hope you got your pants on. That's all I can say.
128 is the limit on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, less. Interesting number.
Yeah. They're using the extra bit for something else.
But it is a. Perhaps
I'll have to dig into that one.
Bookmark.
But what I found about it, I mean, they're all stored as XML up on the cloud, all of the bookmarks. So it is that kind of it's going into frontier servers
Yeah.
for the persistence thing, and it's like when you think about something even as simple as that. I mean, for like over 1.5 million players, storing a small XML file with 128 bookmarks in,
And of
that's
course, every little bit of every little retrieve is another hit on the servers. And people
it's
playing
but
up
bandwidth
as it
as well, not just the storage, but the actual bandwidth of
Exactly,
retrieving it and
yeah,
pushing it up and so. There's a lot of work that goes into making something like that happen, and it gets really tricky. So I would love to see things what DJ's saying, like the idea of you find something. I mean, saying
Winter is coming.
I mean, one way of doing it would be someone to do an add-on and outside the game and bookmarking that way, because people are already using EDDI for that sort of thing.
Yeah, with the
so they could
integration.
do it that way, but they could get around the capacity issue that way, and it'd be locally-ish stored. But,
Yeah. And then you're bound to have a rage on the forum. Like, all of my bookmarks are deleted. I only reinstalled Windows. You're bound to have it. But yeah, I mean, I'd love the idea of things appearing in the same location again, so you could start sharing grid coordinates with people, saying that's like, oh yeah, go to latitude 15,
It's
longitude
like,
10.
it's like saying there's a great fish and chip shop around the corner. That sort of thing. I really recommend this one. It's useful. It does great fish, for example, and the same would apply in the game. You have an engineer is the obvious example at the moment, but there would be things like data sources and bases where, like, you can see bases in the future being more like stations in some ways, linked with facilities that repair, sell, that sort of thing, and Lord knows what else as well. And not every station has that sort of facility. So marking those and saying, here's one that actually sells a fertilizer, for example. And yes, you have EDDI again, but that's not necessarily live data all the time.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Just for people to keep track of.
You're an annoyingly relaxed pilot.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. When I'm heading towards a planet, and all of a sudden, particularly if I'm going towards a planetary base, and it hits the dreaded glide. So I do the glide, and it goes rattle, 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 and in my head I can actually feel the ship falling to pieces. And then it comes out of the glider. Oh my god! I throttle to zero every time. I'm a terrible pilot. It
That
seems.
does look a bit steep to me, that does, but it always looks steep.
Yes, 45
Yeah, go on then.
degrees is
Go on then.
fine.
We're watching.
Okay, it's like that.
Pressure. Yeah, then it starts making rattly noises, and that actually freaks me out. It's really good, but it freaks me out.
Happy Sack is determined that the Thargoids are coming.
They are. Winter is coming.
No, they always walk like that.
Thank you. You're back to your probes again, aren't you?
Oh dear. What's that DJ saying?
Is it past 9 o'clock? Yes, it is.
It's past the watershed. It's fine. Past the watershed.
It's just like I was
Say
in the
whatever
chat, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Do you think you don't need to make credits, just nice vistas, crash ships, and so on? Not everything in the galaxy is made again. Yeah, if you're talking about things like points of interest and stuff like that. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I'd just love to find like an abandoned base
Yeah,
You know,
also-
things like that. Something which
Even just
you know, there's-
detritus,
yeah.
sort of crashed satellites.
Exactly,
all
things
sorts-
like that. Something
yeah.
which there's no specific gain to it, but you can tell someone that, you know, I found something really freaky on this planet. Do you think there's something more to it? And you know, and I think having something like that which always shows up in the same location, I think would be a really
That
nice
started with
addition.
the barnacles. There's barnacles with that
Yeah, it was.
scenario,
What's
it
all these barnacles thing
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
then?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly the same scenario, wasn't it?
That was great.
Yeah.
And you didn't have time to travel quickly with that.
It did. That's the amazing thing. If someone gets discovered in this, everyone knows very fast.
But one of the things you have to wonder is, when you discover something like
still-
that,
I'm
do you
still-
shout the odds and tell everyone, or do you keep it yourself? You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Is it safety in numbers, or is it better to keep it quiet to yourself? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think trouble these days, people are too keen to blab.
Yeah, it's on Twitter, it's on Facebook.
Exactly.
Everyone's like, oh my god, look at this! Instagram, snap a picture, quick.
And I do think sometimes some of these things may need to be sort of put in there so that it benefits you to keep quiet.
Yeah, possibly. And particularly anything of any value.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't deploy.
You've landed in a wonky place, haven't you?
Damn it. Do you think Jax has the Braven phone from Abacus there on there?
Braven
I think he needs the Braven phone now. He's lost in space.
It's probably got no signal.
I'm still quite disturbed by that bobblehead. I'm sorry, but it's the
It's
shading.
the position, isn't it?
It's
Yeah,
the
it's the
shading.
light.
It's sinister. I can imagine sort of demonic fangs and everything.
Do you think it shines out a light in the centre of the Braven bobblehead? You know?
Yeah, red eyes.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's really peculiar.
Oh.
Oh no! I'm an idiot.
Have
I
you
was saving
disabled
power.
you?
I was saving power. Yeah, I was trying to keep my heat down because I was.
There we go.
I was in a neutron
Deploy.
field and I was getting quite hot in a couple of places, so I thought to turn a few things off.
Xbox controller, here we go.
Oops. Yeah, see, I'm a hybrid.
No,
freak
that's
of,
good. See, different vessel, different controller.
Exactly.
I was quite interested the first time I saw the SRB was before it came out. And
Yes.
it was quite
Mike
interesting.
and I visit their offices from time to time.
It was, I don't want to say too much about it because it was just an insignificant event in my life.
I've heard that there's a pin-up picture of my face on the dartboard. That's what I've heard.
Yes, there is.
I heard you brought it.
But I was quite intrigued to see the person in question using a gamepad and did speak about it. And he said it was his preferred
Control.
method of control
Yeah.
anyway.
Ah.
And quite a few of the guys at Frontier seem to use gamepads
Ah.
more. They use
You are here. That's what it needs
Yeah,
to be.
that's
the
it.
thing. You are here.
Yeah, that's it. I wonder if I can get to
Actually, one thing that's missing from that map, is you can't see where you can rotate it round, so you don't actually know if you're at the pole or the equator.
Yeah.
you want to see the orbital. You want to see the orbital axis.
You've no real idea. If you start spinning that around, it could be anywhere.
Actually, another thing on that is a different pole deployment. You have the orbital axis pole, but you also might have a magnetic,
Yeah.
exactly, which might affect your navigation. So that's probably something that's going to come along. People that navigating some
Deal.
next release, they'll find out they can't navigate properly because the compass is off.
Go and find me something and tell me what it is before you get there, because I've not really got the hang of the whole scanner.
I'm terrible. I'd need to.
Yeah,
to listen
that's it.
to
I see something like that ahead and think, oh, whatever it is, run to it. Then I discover, just like you, I'm running straight towards my own ship.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what I'm scanning.
Oh,
Bye.
Ta-ta, ta-ta. I said, I was only 10,000 light years away
Which
from home.
space
It's
bar?
fine. Which space bar? They just need to place coordinates on the map. Yeah, I mean that would be a good addition as well.
Yeah.
actually, they could be bars in stations. So which space bar and the progress bar?
Yeah, see, that's
It's a bird by face.
Season 3.0. There you go. Speculation.
I did think when you're
Wild
planning.
speculation is the best.
I do think when you're planning for landings, I think VR is probably going to be better
It is.
When you're up in space, you don't have that. You don't have a huge amount of perspective.
Oh, you try landing on an outpost.
You have some,
Yeah.
but VR with VR is more about looking around than actually gauging distance.
You've got the cockpit close, but you've got nothing large.
Exactly. There's no
surrounding it.
distance to go. Whereas where you're on planets, you do. Sometimes it's useful to have binocular vision and determine distance.
It was
that
awesome.
So you get the depth.
So-
During beta, I still had my DK2, and I deliberately took the SRV out, even though I knew the frame rate wasn't fantastic. And I took it up to a decent-sized crater and peered over the edge. Now,
How did you feel after
a lot of the listeners will know that I am terrified of heights. I mean, badly. I had to back away my SRV. I'm serious. I had to back
you
away.
backed away. You didn't take the.
No, I didn't charge down. It really did do it. Playing, if you like, two-dimensionally like this. We found something. Is manganese. Oh, I've got some manganese, I think.
Got loads
Is
of
fine, but in the DK2, yeah, you peer over craters, and if you're scared of heights, you will notice.
Yeah, it's pretty freaky. I think that it's.
But it's brilliant. I
It's
loved
great,
it.
yeah. It's absolutely awesome. I think it was a real kind of shock to me the first time I did some of these VRs, and I was like, they've nailed VR. This is what it should have been back in the 90s. There's a good one from DJ actually. I don't, have you seen that wavescanner.net? It's kind of a simulation of the wave thing.
I looked at it
yeah,
once, but I must have been operating it wrong because I couldn't quite make it change to if you see such and such a line, then you're probably headed towards sulfur. If you change to such and such a line, you're probably headed towards the fabled yttrium.
Yeah.
Oh, you found another one.
It's the little. You want the two. I think the two thin lines together. I think that's the ones we really want. What's it? Arsenic.
Oh, more
Magnetic.
arsenic.
Oh,
You toad. He's got more arsenic.
One of the things I'd like to see is materials having different levels of usability. Because there are some elements that are completely inert and useful for nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true, you can't collect clay, can you?
What?
You can't get clay.
Oh, an element.
Oh, yeah, I'm well aware of that. We were talking about things that you can't really make any use of.
Yeah, yeah.
What? Make pots.
Exactly, but out in space, my dear.
Dog bowl for Alvin.
Dog balls for Alvin.
Spoons.
Spoons.
What's that? Delta Quadrant? That's in completely the wrong game, I know.
Yeah, we don't have any quadrants.
Drew's written a book.
Has he?
He has.
Is it that one I thought over there?
He's writing another one apparently.
so
Midnight
am I.
something or other, isn't it?
Yes, Lords of Midnight.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that's
knew
it,
about
yeah.
this and I couldn't say anything.
Oh, it's a
Here we go.
it's a spec-
Well, I hope he does a really good job with it because he does write well. And I'm kind of hoping, actually, you're showing the newsletter earlier, something I was thinking about when I was on my way up here, that it's about time the newsletters pub the novels again.
Yes,
Because
yeah.
there'll be new players, Steam sales and whatever, who will be blissfully unaware of reclamations and mostly harmlesses and nemerenses. And they should know, because they're all really good. Well, yeah, they are. Out of the Darkness comes to mind.
Has Simon signed up with a new name?
He was assigned Mufi or...
No, it's definitely so from the arsenic. Is that when you catch your bum on the edge of a space hole?
Hey!
Ah, there's always one. There's always one.
At the moment, there's more.
Yeah.
Three here tonight!
That's like you should do a travel with about that.
The Drabble Arsenic.
Yeah.
That's it. Whoever wins the Drabble this week, the title has to be Arsenic.
Yes.
Regardless of who
My
wins.
arsenic. See how far we've moved. I probably barely moved at all on this planet, actually. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. No.
Oh no, you've been scooting along, it looks like.
Yeah. But yeah, it definitely feels like it needs more, doesn't it? It's like it.
Yeah, the planetary thing is a little flat.
Yeah, yeah. At the moment, it's like unless there's bases on there, there's no
Doesn't even
sense.
show you, actually, doesn't even show you where you landed initially. There we go. So you give you
That
the
would be
indication
good.
of.
Yeah. How far you've travelled.
Yeah,
you
so you
know.
can see-
Wow,
Yeah.
I've circumnavigated.
Yes.
Scudi
exactly.
MP8
Yeah.
V16-1.
Maybe that could be another module.
Definitely, yeah.
That, I suspect that probably a rather due to having it automatically. A module to say waypoints, and then a module perhaps GPS tracker.
A sort of a
you know.
guidance-y thingy.
I'd definitely like to see more kind of gameplay, like I said, something which takes advantage. They've got these
Topographic.
wonderful vistas here. Yeah, topographical
Yes.
map, things like that. Exactly, something where you can go on and have the equivalent of an SRV advanced discovery scanner. You can sit there and map out something with radar or something, you know,
Yeah.
and get that region in
Drill into
high
the
detail.
surface, all sorts.
Yeah, and that would be
do
the
you have
data
do
you
you,
could
do you have it
sell.
in your ship first and scan first
Exactly.
or do you have it in your just your SRV, different levels and that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would common sense says that they would probably think that already.
There's
Yeah.
loads to come.
It's exactly. There's the list. You've seen the list. The list it's just goes on and on.
Nice
and on.
little list.
It's yeah. You could probably murder a small child if you dropped it on their head. I think that is. It's so many little things I think that they want to do, and it's just finding the time to get it all in. But it makes common sense to us when we're looking at it. Well, yeah, we just put a radar scanner in there. It's like, how much effort would it be to put something like that in there?
I have a suspicion there's a lot of anguish about, do we put that in now or do we need to put this in first? And
absolutely.
a lot of critical part.
I feel so
Horrible
sorry for the decisions you have
project
to make.
management critical path analysis. And I would guess while they discussed it, probably come up with more ideas knowing what they're like.
Yeah,
You know.
that's the problem. Before they finished implementing one thing, I mean, that's the thing. I think it was Eddie. I think he mentioned it on one of the streams just before 2.1 hit, and he was like, "Oh no, I can't say that because that was in 2.2, isn't it?" It's like already thinking about the next thing, and it's just the way it is. There's always
And you
gonna
have
be
to,
more.
really, don't you? Otherwise,
Wow, you got it in you. That's skillful. I'm always having to back in, back out, back in, back out.
It's just
Neatly done. Neatly done.
I want to walk in there. That's where I want to go. Was it DJ something? Yeah, a probe to orbit, map a planet before you land on, scan a sector or a square on.
yeah, that's a similar sort of thing. Either
Yeah.
probe
Yeah, I
ship
think-
or
Yeah.
That's another one you could use, the probe sort of thing. Maybe you can have the probe while you go off to station and fuel up and that sort of thing. Then you come back and you've got a very map planet high.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, that one looks interesting. It's like, there's, you know, you could get something which kind of gives you a density map of the site that's more likely to be meteors in that area or something like that. Something,
Particularly for the Earth-likes looking for suitable
The awesome,
habitation.
really awesome guests. Hello, my name is Steph Wyeth, and I am Commander Xena.
That's nice. Neither of us are awesome. The awesome one down here is. Oh no,
That's
wait,
true.
that's like-
The awesome one is
Lord
down here,
Alvin!
having a
Lord
nap.
Alvin, there he is.
Alvin's back. Alvin,
My liege.
I think I'm.
the head of the Hutton Orbital Trackers,
Oh, wait. Treat. Alvin.
trying to
He's
claim.
just woken up, so the greed and less.
Alvin,
Come here.
no, John doesn't know.
He lifted much.
Oh,
There we go.
and here is the leader.
Hey.
There he is.
Here is
Hey, so
Alvin.
down,
comfy.
that's it.
You comfy. Let's hyper jump away. You're gonna help me hyper jump away, all right?
That's the genuine space dog, unlike that fake dog you get on the streams and on Thursdays.
This is the real deal. This is the real deal.
Hello, hello, Simmer.
Greetings.
Welcome. And are you going to LaveCon? In fact, who amongst us is going to LaveCon? Me. Him.
Oh, yeah, me and him.
Him.
Yeah, he's wagging his tail. Yeah, he's
Tail
definitely
wagging.
got
Yeah.
a leg up.
He's excited. Me.
What's that? Starfield advanced scanner to indicate points of interest. Yeah, that was something I think someone did.
I was
a
thinking
little
that should be
mock-up of
something above.
Yeah.
Or different, because
Really advanced scanner.
Yes.
the advanced scanner does planets and
Just kind of
Albert Belt,
yeah.
yeah. But point of interest
I've
needs
no-
to be more sort of.
I have no
Right,
problem
yeah.
with the detail service scanner doing
Yeah.
that.
Feel like
Yeah,
what you
the
do like.
detail.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get up close and you start to get. It's like, oh, that's a good place to land, because that's what you want it to kind of be layered.
Yeah,
don't
you want
So
you
kind
to
of
think.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
you kind
thing.
of drill down to the interesting elements. I think that'd be cool.
And if you have even two layers of that, you know, a low power detailed surface scanner that perhaps map the surface, and a high power one that can actually has enough energy to drill a little bit underneath the surface, the crust and whatever, and go,
There's a good point there from
There be
Red
gold
Cyrus
here,
as well.
look.
They say anything to get rid of the random hunting for points of interest. So I think
Yeah.
that was something I said right at the very start of the stream tonight. Was
But that's life.
it's,
That's
yeah,
life.
there's
Look
always
at
a little bit of
look at
randomness.
oil exploration, for example. Yes, there's a certain
Black
amount of
holes in the
science
ground
behind
and hope
it,
you
but there's
find
still a
something.
certain amount of luck.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
exactly. Yeah, there's an element of it. Yeah, I think there definitely needs to be kind of a balance to it so it works well. And that shows in the stuff they put in the newsletter tonight is that they are thinking about that. They do want to. Where's Abacus? Abacus, they've gone. Yes, yes. Just this idea.
Come
of
and
it,
say hello to me.
Absolutely. What? He's coming here and I'll bring him up.
Is he?
Yeah.
You poor boy.
So engineer updates on the horizon seem to be going in the right direction. Yeah, I think so, Simmer. I think it's just a question of having the patience, and I think with anything RNG, I know it's a dirty word and everyone hates the idea of RNG, but I think, like I said, it's just a placeholder for something until you can add more complexity. I think that's always the way. Is that any kind of randomness is just to mask a complex system you can't simulate at the moment. It's just to make it look like there's.
It would feel wrong anyway. I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. If it changes, and think, that jars a bit when it didn't change, So.
I mean, you think about like the randomness with the engineers applying the blueprints at the moment. You have something where there's a little bit of luck involved in like how good the quality is.
Yes.
That kind of makes sense. I mean, you're picking up these random chunks of spaceship you've blown up. They might not be as good as how brand
Shit
new
might have
component.
been knackered in the first
Exactly,
place.
yeah. So you're kind of bolting it together. You're welding a bit on, and kind of it's about 90% there. So it's kind of simulating that kind of So there is a point.
It might be pre-cow owned as well, that sort of thing.
Exactly.
That's toxic waste, that is.
But
Alvin, you don't want to go there. That's bare feet.
No, you don't know.
Max says, come and find me and say hello.
Yes.
On Saturday. All
Crashing Pev.
Saturday.
We
We
welcome everybody. Crash's parents. Yeah. This is my wife.
If I didn't parent, I'd disown him. I'd give him a slap round the head and I'd send him to bed with no supper.
Yes.
Oh, this is
Yes, they're looking at you.
Ah, good, Max.
They are.
See you at Lakecon, perhaps, Max.
Oh, excellent. Great to see you there.
Yeah.
It's going to be good fun. It's going to be only a couple of weeks away now. 3 weeks? 3 weeks?
Something like 3 weeks.
I think it's 3 weeks this weekend, yeah.
Absolutely. Commander Malik, morning. Commander Malik is just going to. You must be in the US, my friend. we are getting close to
Southern
the end
Hemisphere.
of the stream, actually.
Yeah, Southern Hemisphere. Greetings from Australia.
Must be. No, don't worry, Isabel. We're having a bit of fun. Don't worry. These are my good friends, my fellow commanders have joined me live in the studio today. Believe it or not. So it's like streamers concept art. Is that the? Well, let's see if we can get that up on there. Actually, I think this was the one you were talking about.
Let's have a look.
Yes, the Discovery Scanner. Yes. Let me see if I can slow this down.
Liking. Oh, that's pretty. I've not seen this.
Let's wind this back a little bit on now. So this was kind of the idea that someone came up with. And this, you can see from the screenshots.
Yeah.
This was a little bit back. But yeah, I just like the idea that you kind of have this incremental layers to it.
Yeah.
And then you get like the topographical map, and then you get a different grade of data. So not only are you getting better data that is worth more, but you're kind of narrowing down your search. And I think that's the problem with a lot of things in the game at the moment. There's an entire galaxy to search, and you're trying to find these bloody components which are like this. Where do you start?
It's a classic needle and a haystack thing, isn't it? That's
It
the
is,
thing.
yeah. And I think
gorgeous.
we're starting to see more and more kind of systems come into the game which kind of help narrow that down. And I think that's
But also, it relies on a certain amount of intelligence, not in terms of being IQ, but in terms of information that people have found out about and that sort of thing. And, but I keep coming back to Barnacle, but it's a fantastic example of things being found and then people making use of that information and go and find them and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think the Barnacle is easier because there's less occurrences of them, but it
spreads.
sort of, goes out towards other things as well.
So what's that? Or an RNG nature. Yeah.
Congratulations, Mike. Apparently you're sexy.
We
always knew it. We always knew it.
Yeah, we don't like to boost his ego too much.
Well, I think maybe toast back for goodness sake.
I still think it's a cattle grid, by the way. I still call it cattle grid. I'm sorry, but
You're not supposed to drive over it. That's the thing.
I had no ego anyway.
DJ tells it. Yeah, I think this is the take-home lesson. I think it's definitely it's they put everything in at the moment. There's a lot of RNG to it, and they just need to flesh out those bits whilst they're working on other elements. There's a lot of systems that need to go in place to make it make sense. Like I said, you can imagine that scenario that it's once you get down to that first-person level, you could see the engineer bashing away on something, and there's kind of it looks. You can genuinely think it's like. yeah, that's not going to come out quite,
No.
quite right, yeah. But at the moment, it's just kind of, you click the interface and you see what happens, but you can imagine that there's more to it.
Yeah, you can see how examples of all these things, of this work with looking at the CGs, for example. They started off fairly basic, and now they're sort of almost been generated weekly. They're different and structured, and in some cases, people have offered suggestions. The same with the engineers. They'll get layered and layered, and more and more happen, and that spread
Absolutely.
out. All parts of the game have had that same sort of thing. They start off with the core of the concept, then they add bits on as they pin down the difficulties,
I think
the
you
work,
make
and
a
that sort of thing.
really good point with the CGs, actually. Not knowing the innards of the development, it wouldn't surprise me if, with each point release has gone on, the underlying software for the CGs has improved.
Yes.
Such that they now can easily generate.
Different variations and different
Precisely.
styles of things. Because I think that was something that was
Probably something we've missed. The fact that
Yeah.
that may well have something
Yeah.
been skeletal at the start, and actually underneath us, it is fleshed out without us realising.
yeah, and I think there was a lot of that was because of like the dangerous games. They wanted to do that kind of thing a long time before, but the community goal framework didn't support that kind of thing. And you've seen the ones now that we've had in the dangerous games. They've been those kind of like zero reward level things, so they're a completely different style. They don't work like the traditional CGs because they.
So I'm reading. Hello.
Oh, was that? Who's that? Which
Yes, I remember you. Yes, I remember you.
Aylesgriff.
Yeah.
Ah, rightio.
Yes, I remember you very well. Yes. Hello. Hello once again.
But yeah, it's those kind of things that we take for granted that's a completely different style of thing. But the server had to be set up so that it can inject those kind of events with those kind of tiers and that kind of stuff. So it's simple little things.
The other thing was goes with missions.
Missions, yeah.
Yes.
They started having to be handcrafted, and Michael Brooks probably having several dozen different types of bits while that was going on. And now they're sort of more. I couldn't say they're generated. No, I expect they probably are to a degree, but a lot more of them, so they can't do the handcrafting.
No.
That's only one potty.
Exactly.
And so you have to build it up.
Build the tools, isn't it?
Yeah,
Build the
exactly.
tools so that you can start it and then build that framework. And a very good point on there actually. Saturnine saying that we only have 20% of the game. There is still so much more planned. And so many more variations of just like you said, missions and everything else. DJ saying, I think they should allow players to make and give missions. This is something that's come up
been brought up
many times. Yeah, actually, and
And it has happened.
yeah, there are. Yeah, I mean, they have suggested templates and they've come through on the forum.
As
And
I-
Michael's kind of said,
yeah.
yeah, that's cool. Let's put it.
Yeah, as I understand it, some of them were suggested by Drew.
And I think I think Mr. Reagan might have wrote a few little snippets.
Precisely.
One of the things for the missions being submitted by players is that there had to be a certain amount of betting because it had to fit in with the law, for example, and within the practicalities of running.
What's technically feasible in the game? Yeah,
Exactly.
what sort of interactions make sense? There's no point saying, like,
Yeah, you can have that. You can go off.
You
and
can shoot this guy in the
Yeah.
face. It's like, yeah, but we haven't got first person, so how do we do that?
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense because I think it was something that Scott Manley tweeted out actually saying that the rate of those XML you could dump in there and it creates.
But then,
It's so complicated.
you mentioned something there that sort of hints at the need for persistent NPCs as well, which we don't.
Yeah, we do need that.
Yes, we know that it's certainly going to happen, but that's another huge can of worms.
Massive system, yeah, exactly. It's that persistence again, which becomes.
And that's
a huge
okay
problem.
because a new player who buys a league 3 or 4 years from now will not realise that some things weren't here for us early birds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the same with it's the same with a lot of games. I think with like World of Warcraft and everything like that.
I assume that's not Earth-like, no.
I think that's a water world.
Is it?
I think it might be.
Because I'll be honest with you, I don't know which ones are which. I know the red ones right next to the star are usually
Usually
quite
too,
warm.
usually too hot. Yeah,
Nice and warm.
Let's go and have a
But
look.
when I go
Might
exploring, I just scan all of them, which means it takes forever. So.
Every time I see one of those red ones, I'm reminded of Vulcan in the early days. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, that was really superb. It was one of the first planets that was really different.
So Satan said, user-created content in a multiplayer environment will always be a pain in the ass.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, that's the problem with it. It's you just cannot. You've got the vetting. You've got all that stuff.
It's always going to be tricky to make sure it's balanced.
Now that's a good one, yes. I think people have mentioned that before. That although having said that, people are doing the bounty thing outside of the game. But I can't remember who it was.
So what have you got?
Someone.
A water world. Is Kevin Costner on it?
But someone put a bounty. I think something to do with Mobius, and they put out a bounty outside of the forum. So that's sort of already in there. You don't necessarily need that in the game. But
Kind of that meta.
do you remember that?
Yeah. I think there was a few on the mods
It went
as
up
well
to
for a while.
It went up to 10 million or something like that, didn't it? I think something like that.
Oh.
Which now it's chicken beef. You could get that in a CG in 1 week.
Exactly. Do you know, I will say we've run a little bit over. We realise it's flown by, isn't it? It's flown by.
Yabbered and
it's been
actually
great.
had a great time.
It's good fun. I tell you, it's good fun. It's just nice to chat, isn't it? It's nice to see us catch up. So I think we're going to bugger off and get something to drink, aren't we?
I could be tempted because I didn't drive here, so I'm all right.
So what do you like? Get your own food.
That's it. Yeah. Sorry. That's it. That's just game over. It's game over. But no, it's absolutely lovely to have you here, and
It's a real pleasure.
It just.
I mean, we've wanted to bring Alvin along for ages. haven't we?
Yes.
I had to
Absolutely.
make sure that Alvin came along.
You are the star. You are. Yes. It's great to have you. Thank you very much for coming, and thank you
for having us.
everyone out there for watching. It was lovely to chat to you.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to us.
See you in 3 weeks at
Rabbit.
LakeCon.
Yes, they've gone. Yes, we'll see you all there. Oh.
What's? Oh, is that what it really looks like?
That's the
That's
real
the
room.
real
The real room behind us. So, until next time, Commanders. See you in the void.
Farewell.